Ah, still no sound. You know what? This one was my fault. This one was my fault. I had it fixed, but then for some reason, my system sound source was muted. I don't know why that was. I don't know where that one is. But anyways, hello everyone. I have one final thing I need to do because I am restream.io, so we can see the YouTube chat showing up on the chat box. And there we're gonna go. Where does it go? Where does this live? Ah, it's here, right? Yes, it is. Nah, oh, well, okay, that's just not gonna work. Love that. Well, we're just not gonna have the YouTube chat on. I need to figure out how to make that happen. Anyways, hello, Andrew Heavenridge. I'm sorry, YouTube chat's not showing up on this because I have a custom thing because that was announced. But anyways, friends, we have players. MSRM, loser pick, good. If you want to go contribute to these players, there is one. They're going to be 2 best of 7s today. Of course, this is going to be Albino versus MSRM, and then it's going to be Nina versus Snoxar. New map first. Hey, Alexi Beltsev. Yes, just fix my mic. There we go. That would have been nice. Okay, so we're going to go. And Albino's on. Try the server. MSRM, Bulgaria. Albino, East Coast. So we're just trying to figure out how exactly we want to host this because there's no easy. There's no easy central server for this one. But anyways, yes, friends, hello. So we're going to try to do more of these as things can happen. There is a Matcherino link down below. ! Matcherino. You can go contribute to it. It's going to be fantastic. There are 2 best of 7s, so the money is going to be evenly split between the 2 best of 7s. I'm going to chip some in a little bit later, depending on what that is. But anyways, that's how that is going to work. Let's see, what do we have here? All right, so it looks like we're just going to play on London or Frankfurt. One of the two. And hey, you know, benefits. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot to do something. Let's let the Stormgate Discord know that this is happening. This was very last second, so as you can see, I've spent the morning getting things set up, trying to make that happen. But yeah, at tournament announcements, at tournament alerts. 2 BO7s today. Albino v msrm and Nina v Snockstar to take a look at the new changes in an extended series. Alrighty, Rudy. Infernal Vanguard, this is going to be good. Yes, it will be. And then it's going to be Celestials versus Infernals, just because this is not. One might go and accuse me what the players one might accuse me of having a little bit, tiny bit of Infernal bias, because I do play Infernals and I want to see how Infernals win games because I'm not totally sure. But nah, this is just who I had access to. This is just who I could go and pull together kind of last second. So there we go. Hey, KP. All right. There we go. So we're going to go. We have a lobby ready. We need to join the lobby instead of get everything set up. Oh, killing pigeons. Not killer pigeons, killing pigeons. Hello there, killing pigeons. So it's going to be, again, msrm, Albino. Ready when players are. Thank you so much, Harsbo, for contributing to the match, Reno. By the way, killing pigeons, thanks you for the follow as well. By the way, it's weird, by the way, that this stream alert is not actually showing the logo. Anyways, thank you for the follow. So I have codes for Matcherino as well. Man loses, man organizes show matches to steal build orders. Absolutely. That is exactly how that works. But more importantly, so we also have Matcherino codes. Not only are we sitting here, you can donate. That's fantastic. There are Matcherino codes. So if you make an account on Matcherino you can make through your BNet account, through Google, through probably through Steam, through a bunch of other things. You can go, and it actually helps out quite a bit. You can go and you add, you just claim the code, you do the stuff, and it works out very nicely. So, friends, we have a game here. It's game number 1. Let's take a look at things. Here we're on the bottom right, of course, in this best of 7. Look at that, we can do those things. The bottom right for Aftermath in the red, it's Albino. Upper left here on Furious Resolve, this is, of course, the new map. It's msrm. And this one's going to be pretty fun. Albino, of course, very, very good, as no one should be surprised by this one. But Furious Resolve, of course, is a 4-player map. It is true random. There's no locked spawn away, so what you see is what you get. But look at this, msrm trying to go and take this speed camp early. He's got a vault on the map. Looks like he wants to play very aggressively here in this game number 1, which I think is interesting. I've been messing around a lot with going for like an 11 expand, something like that, because, you know, creep camps are not worth quite as much here. He's actually hiding back a single Shadow Mastiff, a single one of these speed creeps back to the main base, and kind of interesting. He only got one of them. I think he probably meant to kite them all back. I'm not sure. But for now, he does get himself one Fiend. The Scout's going to see, okay, we see what's happening here. As Lancers are going to go try to get the Mastiffs. Again, the goal here, you kite away. Lancers, though, they do not one-shot camps anymore. If you kite away, you might be able to. But for the moment, again, he's just going to go and get this damage. We should see a second Lancer out soon. And so, 1 Rax set up here coming out of Albino. I'd love to tell you what these builds are, but the game's been out for like 3, or the patch has been out for 3 days. Take the speed camp. Take the speed camp. There we go. msrm's gonna claim that one for himself. The game has been out for not that long at all. And that means that, you know, I don't know what the builds are. I have some things that I've been messing around with, certainly. And I've been, you know, I've heard some tell of some interesting, very quick Spriggan all-ins, things like that. But right now, I don't know. And I'm very excited to find out. So for now, speed camp taken, health camp is going to get rotated over. And it looks like here. So by the way, Shadow Demons are bugged. They do 20 damage, but if we see what damage, what are they targeting here? Yeah, they're doing 5 damage a shot. I don't know exactly why this is, but for right now, you can take them with a bunch of fiends. The vision camps are absurdly easy to take. Kind of, maybe even bugged easy to take. I'm surprised he doesn't claim the vision, but I guess it's fine. You know, you're going to lose that one fairly quickly anyways. So there's a natural now on the way because the vision camp's been taken. The health camp has been taken here. And again, I'm just trying to figure out what it is that MSRM wants to go for. So he's capped at 31. Where's his second? Ah, okay, cool. I was wondering, like, where's that second meat farm? Where's that meat farm? There's no way he has the supply cap without it, but no, it's there. It's taken the vision camp. So he has done a very good job of speed creeping his way on the map. You know, again, camps are not as impactful as they used to be. They're a lot harder to take. They do more damage. They take less damage, and they're just worth a little bit less money. So there is that one. Is now Lancers are going to go try to take this down, but that shouldn't work out all that easily. Brutes just want to put him in a corner, and for now they're just going to run right by. Now, these Lancers, do they have any upgrades? Not just yet. Kinetic redirect done in about 15 seconds or so. That means for now, they're just going to have to run away. They don't have that speed boost, but we can see, I know I've heard some players talking about going like 1-1, opening Gaunts and opening like Conclave and Volt. But with the strength of the Lancers, I don't know how good that necessarily is. I know players have been winning, definitely winning with it. Getting even just 2 Gaunts early means you clear the speed camp and the health camp very, very quickly. So there is that. But where you go from there, I don't know. But in this case, okay, so MSRM, this is a different build. I know Jardo's just been playing around with a single Volt expand into very, very quick Spire into Spriggans. And I've been playing around with that a little bit. It works out fairly nicely. But this is a double Vault opening, so you get a couple less fiends theoretically. Has he spent, looks like MSRM has spent some animus on going and getting all those just getting more imps as quickly as possible. But now as the Lancers run in, this is a bit of a problem. Again, there's not a lot of defense here. You do not want to fight with the fiends. You want to find the fiends are maybe a surround, but you really don't want to do that. In fact, he's gonna pop out a single Magmadon just to try to keep himself alive. That's 150 Therium. That is 3 Spriggans that this is slowing down significantly. So at the end of the day, that was like 2 or 3 imps going down, but seems like Albino for the moment is going to be okay with this. He's going to be able to back this up. He's not going to, he's not going to lose this vault on the map and behind this. There we go. Twilight Spire done. Second Spire done. Shadow Cleft on the way, which is what you need. Spriggans, of course, you do need the Shadow Cleft, but you don't need to, you don't need anything more than that. So they're a little bit cheaper. You can get them out on tier 2. You get them the fastest possible. I've been able to get them done is about 6:15 or so, 6 minutes or so. I think you can theoretically get it a little bit faster if you're really quick on your timings. So this is going to be right around that. And because of the faster creeping, it looks like getting that second vault is just about the same as getting the first vault, as far as I can tell. Meanwhile, Albino on his side, what's he making here? Nothing out of that barracks, nothing out of this barracks. But there's a hangar bay on the way, a Hornet's getting started here, and there was a beautiful day. There was a beautiful day where Spriggans were really strong. Now it seems like everyone has just figured out what exactly this build is, and it's just getting a little bit hard countered. This is getting just a wee bit hard countered. So I don't know exactly what it is you're supposed to do here. So we're gonna have Hornets out. Exos are on the map as well. Do they have quick draw hustle? Not yet, but they're researching it. It's gonna be on the way soon. But this Hornet's gonna pop. Actually, I guess there already is a Hornet on the map, and when the Hornet's out, I mean, not very happy. Well, okay, there was a Hornet on the way. Where is this Hornet? Is it just never made? I don't know, but for now, well, Spriggans are going to show up here, and 6 Spriggans do in fact beat 4 Exos. But there's a Hornet. Okay, well, watch this thing kill everything. Even though the bonus damage to light has gone down, this Hornet is so strong. It's absolutely stupid strong here with the bubble as well, and this just means everything else can get kited away. There's no Demon Hoof Tremors, and this Bubble Boy is gonna go so absolutely nutty. Oh no, what is even happening right now? So eventually the Hornet loses the bubble, and that does mean it doesn't fight nearly as well. And we're going to see the Skull is hopefully going to do something. This army's actually going to get forced back a little bit, even with Quick Draw Hustle allowing things to run away. Notice MSRM, he did eat one of the Fiends, so that means this Magmadon is okay, but a second one of these Hornets is on the map, and you want a critical mass here, but there's nothing on the ground, and now there's nothing really to fight these Spriggans. Yeah, you know, Spriggans versus Exos, technically, Exos don't do bonus damage. That is true. But this is still a significant problem for MSRM. LA's just saying, I hear Monk has been farming people. I have not run into Monk, but his MMR may be higher than mine is right now. I lost so much MMR yesterday trying to figure out how you beat Vanguard players. I don't have an answer yet. I'm sure I'll find out one. I had the first half of my ladder session was great because I was hitting them with this 2-base Spriggan build. It was fantastic. It was doing really nice things, and then life got sad. So anyways, what do we have here? Demon Hoof Tremors is done. The Spriggans are now going to go for a bit of a run by because the entire army of Albino is on the other side of the map. There is no static defense here. So what he's going to look to do is he's going to go try for, I was going to say he's going to go try to trigger overcharge and then go kill the other base. But he's just going to supply block Albino to the ends of the earth. This number of Spriggans does out DPS any sort of mass repair. So Spriggans and Maymace are causing problems. Production's getting shut down here, but return to hangar on all of these, on all of the Hornets means that a little bit rough. Now you drop an effigy just to make you last a little bit longer, but, and of course, you know, with the slow from the Spriggans, with that blinding saliva, you were able to go and be a little bit happier. So, you know, slow down some Gaunt or slow down some Bomb production maybe. That's going to work out fairly nicely. Hey, Shadow 01912 921. Welcome. But yeah, so at this point, we have the answer to the Spriggans. They can still be interesting as a harass unit. And okay, so he's going to commit to Flyers more, which I don't know how I feel about necessarily. Spriggans do not want to fight this Bio Ball. That is not going to be a thing. Effigy gets, or Shroudstone gets dropped, but immediately targeted down because, hey, bonus damage to armor is a powerful, powerful drug. Now, Spriggans are going to go on top on the backside, and, well, you know, they're just dead. Yeah, the Spriggan count is not high enough, and without Raging Tendons, there's no way for the Magmadon to really get on top. Certainly not to chase down. So, third base halfway done for MSRM. Technically, we can call this one the third base, but third Luminite base about halfway done. Albino's had his for quite a while at this point. And this is where the game gets really hard. And this is, again, the patch is 3 or 4 days old. Builds are evolving at rapid pace. But I know when I've been playing this build, oh, hey, there we go. That's going to be a Hornet going down. But the problem is, even with the Hornets are this great early game stabilizing thing where they're able to go and really kill a ton of Spriggans with very few Hornets. And that can work out fairly nicely as we're going to see nice, oh, there we go. Connections on the back line, just getting on top of these units, drops the effigy as well. But again, the Hornets, despite getting all this minus armor, despite getting jumped on top of, the Spriggans are going to fall anyways. And even still, this number of Spriggans does not beat this number of Exos, certainly not with all the promotions that are available. So this is where the game gets rather difficult. Again, I don't know what the answer is. I've been messing around with, we're not an Elder Shrine, by the way. I've been messing around with getting one or two Harbingers with the stun to try to get on top. But the pathing's really weird because there's no phase pathing for air units, so the Harbinger kind of gets stuck in the Spriggan flock, and that feels a little bit weird. So again, not totally sure how to handle that one. But for now, Albino, the supplies are ahead, but the thing that we have to get used to in... Does anyone know a nice mech build with Vanguard? Laser asks. Percival's probably your guy, I think. Percival's been playing a lot of... I've been seeing a lot of people talk about playing Lancer Vulcan, like Lancer mech. I don't think that's very good. I don't think that's particularly good because, well, you just get Weavers and all the Vulcans die and the Lancers die eventually. You just go like Brute Weaver and you're fine. Now, in this case, though, this Bio Ball is the thing that I really don't know how to handle because, I mean, look at this. Magmadons, they don't have any sort of Raging Tendon. They're not fast, and they just can't get on top. There we go. Free Magmadon on the backside. Yes. 2 damage per shot. 1 damage for against heavy. 1 just damage in general has been nerfed out here. MSRM really committing to the air stuff. He had 4 Twilight Spires, now he has 3. And that is certainly true. And he has been able to take down the base on the right side, taking down a lot of these Hornets as well. But they're just going to return to hangar, even as fast as they are, even as slow as they are. They're still fast enough to escape. And actually, a single Bob kills the effigy as well. So that's going to go down. This Therian base is going to fall down. And there we go. MSRM is going to be very dead in this game number 1. Y'all like that, by the way? Going and, what's the word? I updated the stinger, so it says Stormgate Sundays instead of Stormgate Nexus. All right, so we're going to get game number 2 going in a second. Prime Scout, you won 14 of 40 on... I was so sad. I was winning, like, all my games. Is this the first tournament on the new patch? I don't even... This is a show match. I don't even know that I would call it a tournament necessarily. I don't... but yes, Rushy ran a show match on Friday night. And that was Elf versus Percival. That was actually a pretty good series. And there was a Cluckfest last night. That is absolutely true. Is there a Matcherino? Yes, there is. You can see, again, Matcherino down right here. $5 in it right now. Exclamation mark Matcherino will give you that. How'd the Goblin Cluckfest go, by the way? All right, can this possibly... It's being dumb. Okay, we have game 2, though, on the way. I was pulling up the Goblin Cluckfest. So anyways, we're going to get into game 2 as we see exactly what is up with that. Here we are. It's game number 2. Bottom left, his Spriggan build didn't quite work. MSRM, of course, top right. The bio ball still very strong. Still very, very strong. It's Albino. By the way, Titan's Causeway map 2. I'm sorry for the lack of a game sound for just a second, but I'm looking up the Cluckfest. Stormgate. All right. Looks like a laser won last night. Very well done, a laser. Laser Percival finals was entertaining. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. I wish I was. Oh, why wasn't I paying attention? Why have I done this to myself? Because I guess MSRM defensively pulled the Shadow Mastiff into his main base, and then Albino tried to use that to maybe kill an imp. Oh man, what have I done? Oh, what have I done? But you know, mistakes have been made. That being said, this is game number 2. Again, the Spriggan build in game 1 did not really work out. If you get a hangar bay, it doesn't work. It's just the long and short of it. The Hornet is just too strong of a counter to any flying unit that it. Well, maybe not the. Maybe not the dragon. The Hornet is way too strong of a counter to like every other flying unit in the game. So at least every other infernal flying unit in the game. So the trades are insane. So the rules I've run with a laser is that you can defensively aggro. You can't aggressively aggro. But I may just open it up in its entirety. I don't think it's that broken either way. On my events, right? So the Alpha Navigators Cup may run it differently. Cluckfest may run it differently. In this early version of the game, I'm trying to keep as many strategies open as possible. because I don't know what may turn in, may something that may get patched out. I don't know if there's something that may turn into something that's kind of cool, you know, like in Dota, for example, being able to pull creeps to manipulate creep waves is something that was a bug, something, or stacking camps, things that were bugs, things that were not built into the game. They're just kind of quirks of how the engine worked. And then, like, okay, actually, no, this is when they made Dota 2, they said, actually, no, we want this to be part of things. We think this is pretty cool. And I don't know what mechanics, what bugs may end up being like that, what may not. So for right now, I'm trying to keep an open mind and keep as many, something that's not just inherently broken, like the ability to go and drop a Shroud Stone in your opponent's base immediately because they also have a shrine, things like that. I'm like, that's a little broken. But anything that is not just so broken that it's just impossible to deal with or just way, way, way too strong, I will, 100%. That is something that is okay to be. I'm okay with players messing around with it. Yeah, because as Magic Box said, bugs becoming features is classic game design. Yeah, it's classic. It's given us some of the coolest parts of RTS games, you know, mutant stacking and things like that. So that's my logic. Agree with it or disagree. You cannot now DSX 777. That was a bug during the Steam Next Fest build, which was Elephant, maybe? Ooh, nice little run by here, shutting down the second barracks, at least for a little bit, you know, slowing it down. Not gonna get a Bob because Bobs are tanky mothers, but at least getting something. That was a bug during the Steam Next Fest where that was something that was under hot debate. Like, how do you ban this properly? Because it was a thing that was just happening in every single game. On the ladder, you're just like, oh, gone drop a Shroud Stone as well. Good luck. The base is dead. So that has been changed a little bit in that was of course a bug that was fixed. Any Celestials playing today? Yes, Nina is playing Snockstar in our second best of 7, Norris. So this is the first one. Second, of course, will be Nina versus Snockstar. That'll be coming up after this series is done. But for now, a bunch of Lancers. Of course, they have kinetic redirect, so they are speedy boys. And they're going to try to do this run-by thing where with the bonus damage versus light, they kind of shred against everything. They're trapped in a little bit of a corner here. Look at the hold position. Look at the imps. Now, a couple will go down. It looks like they're not going to get trapped at the end of the day. So that is going to be 3 imps falling down, I think. Just about 3 imps falling down, and now to the main base they're going to go. So this is a couple things. Not only is this damage, this is a scout. This is Albino is going to know very, very quickly that, hey, there's the double shrine on the way. Now, we don't have the Shadow Clef getting started because msrm, he has the money for it, but doesn't have the attention for it at the moment. That's the problem. Now, I think these Lancers, no, they're not going to go down. Nightfall Infestation slows them down, but they get out anyways. And there is the Shadow Cleft, about halfway done. But this damage with this Lancer run by on a map that is just as wide open as it is just so much. So many of these imps are going to go down to the point where he's okay trading these now. Ideally, the low ones, they're going to get away. But there is just... It is insane amounts of economic damage that Albino is able to accomplish at the moment. And behind this, Hangar Bay's done, right? Hornets are on the way. There is not going to be this timing where the Spriggans are good in any way, shape, or form. They're on the map now, and they will kill the Lancers. But Lancers are not faster than before. But Kinetic Redirect was buffed in the 0.0.2 patch, 0.0.1 patch, I forget which. Anyways, they were buffed, so Kinetic Redirect was on tier 1. You could get it much faster. So, double Hangar Bay is going to be the idea here. So we have 1 Hornet popped out, and he's just going to try to kill it. So Infest goes down, Albino doesn't dodge, but he's slowed to high heaven anyways. But there's a second Hornet on the map, and this is just, I mean, you killed an Exo. There is something there, but now all these Spriggans are going to get peeped down. I mean, this one's very, very slow for the moment. But that was not enough damage. Not at all. Babe? That's a new one. Claris, my girlfriend, has decided that on the internet she should go by BeoMulf. Anyways, a bunch of Shadow Flyers are going to go down and knock these Hornets. And that's not cheap, by the way. Shadow Flyers are still expensive. So, yes, the Hornets are done from the skies. Yes, we're on double Spire. But that's a lot of Spriggans that weren't made. So, as we see Exos starting to hit the field. Although, are we building Exos? No, I guess the answer is just a double Hornet right now. I was going to say, as Exos hit the field, well, all these brutes are not going to do very good. The brutes are just going to get kited away. It's just, I mean, the bonus damage versus heavy is really strong, but it seems like that's not going to happen. And remember, Titan's Causeway is the map where it is very, very hard to go take it. Not impossible, but taking a third base, and importantly, a third base for the Infernal is very hard because what you don't have is a third Therium spot. You can go and take this double Therium, cut the trees down here if you want to take this third, but you're very much expanding towards the Infernal player at that point. So you can take the double take the double Luminite setup, but all the Luminite units that an Infernal player has are just horrible. They are not very good. So it feels weird to have 4 Luminite and building all these brutes. Now, I've been playing around with, and I think it's got maybe some legs. I've been playing around with this quick Hellforge idea. Do we have Hellforge? We don't even have the Hellforge, but this quick Hellforge idea where they moved the, what's it called? They moved Soulforge Descendants to tier 1, which means you get an additional Fiend and you increase armor by 10 when you go on the map. It's now, I mean, Spriggans are trying to do something, but there's not a lot that they can do. I think their goal right now is just to keep the exo count low so you can hit with a bunch of brutes, maybe? I'm not sure. But anyway. So you go and you, Soulborn Ascendants? Yeah, Soulforge Ascendants. Which gives you 1 more Fiend, which gives you your brutes 10 more armor. You can get that very fast because now it's on tier 1. It's still 100 Therium, I think it is. It's still reasonably expensive, but you can get it at tier 1. And going for like Shrine Double Vault Hellforge, it feels like it's got some legs. I'm not sure. I'm still messing around. Man, they're so fast and there's no escape here whatsoever. Now, granted, dragging into the Bruiser's fun because the damage versus air is reasonable. And the Bruiser's a heavy unit, so Spriggans actually killed that very quickly. Knocking those down is fairly nice. But now the Bob's gonna go pulled, right? Overcharge is here, third base done, and we have no. We have 1 static defense. Man, you feel like a Wraithstone might be fairly good, but this single Shroud Stone doesn't really feel like it's gonna be enough. And more importantly, there is no. I mean, okay, Magmadons try to get on top, clear through the trees, but they just can't get on top of these speedy boys. And there's not enough Animus, not right now. Not enough to drop a second Shroud Stone to drop one kind of behind everything and get that damage done. So we're going to see the Spriggans, I think, as more of an auxiliary unit in this fight, where the job is to go and slow things down, to make sure their attack speed is slower, make sure their move speed is slower. And as we are starting to see, okay, so Bone Axes are here, of course, but there's no Plague Axes. Nothing to make sure that Infest gets spent. Magmadons pop their stun, and well, that's not going to be all that great. And there's just no good way to get on top of this army. I think what you want to do okay, he's got a flank getting ready here. But I think his base is just going to die. Oh, big flank coming in from the Fiends on the right side. Oh, Infest as well, going to try to drop things down. And with the slows, it's just still too fast. Way too fast. No stun, no Demon Hook Tremors available for these Magmadons. So even as they get on top, they don't lock things in place. And that stun's not as good as it once was anyways. Not really. And by the way, look at the main base here. The Hornets are going to town, absolutely. But now this army here from MSRM, if you can put everything into a corner, if you can trap them in a corner, that is maybe going to be the play. As more stun, well, actually just not even stuns, but more damage gets done here by the Magmadons. Effigy gets dropped, but now try to put yourself into the healing zone. But the bonus damage versus light actually goes way strong against all of these Exos. Tries to get on top of them, claim the healing zone for himself and his 1 Lancer. Yes, tier 2, tier 3 veterancy available. But it's still gonna die. Absolutely still gonna die here. But has the damage been... Kill this thing. It's doing so... You have to kill this. You have to kill this. And it's just not dying. The healing is way too strong. And this opportunity, this timing that maybe existed is just not there anymore whatsoever. MSRM tried to clear the map, force everything back, and this single head Lancer is just shutting down so much. Yeah, the BeoMulf is faster even with the slow. So by the way, that singular Lancer with plus 20% weapon damage is just, it killed every single god. It killed every single Gaunt. You really just had to target that down was the thing. And now, well, speed lancers. Gaunt's getting evaporated. In these previous patch, lancers were tanky boys. Now they're just assassins. And msrm is extremely dead. msrm is extremely dead in this game. Yeah, I'm not balance whining. I'm sure there will be answers that we find out eventually that make this matchup a little bit more even, but for right now, this matchup feels very, very hard for the Inferno player. Anyways, that's going to be game number 2. Albino goes up 1. All right, that is goes up 2, excuse me. That is the second game of the series now complete, and that means we have to go take a bit of an ad break because, well, ads need to run. So I will be back. Miasma still good as a tool versus Bioball? Technically yes. I don't know. It does the same amount of damage, but the energy and the cooldown do make it a little bit more difficult. But anyways, we have to run a brief 3-minute ad. By the way, those of you that have donated to the prize pool, where's my Matcherino page? There we go. Harsbro, DM Norris, and Bo Casey, thank you so much for adding to the prize pool. Reminder, by the way, this is free. This is free. We have a bunch of codes. You go and you make a Matcherino page. If you go subscribe to Matcherino on Google or on YouTube, I think it is. If you go and download an Android app that you can immediately, immediately remove, we have some codes that you can use. So anyways, you do have to download some things, but that's fine. Anyways, we're going to go to a break. When I'm back, it's going to be the rest of this series. See y'all soon. But where you go from there, I don't know. But in this case, okay, so msrm, this is a different build. I know Jardo's has been playing around with a single vault expand into very, very quick spire into Spriggan. And I've been playing around with that a little bit. It works out fairly nicely. Even though the bonus damage to light has gone down, this Hornet is so strong. It's absolutely stupid strong here with the bubble as well, and this just means everything else can get kited away. There's no... But where you go from there, I don't know. But in this case, okay, so msrm, this is a different build. I know Jardo's has been playing around with a single vault expand into very, very quick spire into Spriggan. And I've been playing around with that a little bit. It works out fairly nicely. Even though the bonus damage to light has gone down, this Hornet is so strong. It's absolutely stupid strong here with the bubble as well, and this just means everything else can get kited away. There's no Demon Hoof Tremors, and this Bubble Boy is gonna go so absolutely nutty. A second one of these Hornets is on the map, and you do want critical mass here, but there's nothing on the ground, and now there's nothing really to fight these Spriggans. Yeah, Spriggans versus Exos, technically. Exos don't do bonus damage. That is true. But this is still a significant problem for msrm. And without Raging Tendons, there's no way for the Rat Magmadon to really get on top. Certainly not to chase down. So, third base halfway done for msrm. Technically, we can call this one the third base, but third Luminite base about halfway done. Albino's had his for what? Twilight Spires? Now he has 3. And that is certainly true. And he has been able to take down the base on the right side, taking down a lot of these Hornets as well. But they're just going to return to hangar, even as fast as they are, even as slow as they are. They're still fast enough to escape. And actually, a single Bob kills the effigy as well. So that's going to go down this Shadow Cleft, about halfway done. But this damage with this Lancer run by on a map that is just as wide open as it is just so much. So many of these imps are going to go down to the point where he's okay trading these now. Ideally, the low ones, they're going to get away. But there is just... It is insane amounts of economic damage that Albino is flooding. And he's just going to try to kill it. So Infest goes down, Albino doesn't dodge, but he's slowed to high heaven anyways. But there's a second Hornet on the map, and this is just... I mean, you killed an Exo. There is something there, but now all these Spriggans are going to get keeped down. I mean, this one's very, very slow for the moment. But that was not enough damage. There are 3 veterancy available, but it's still going to die. Absolutely still going to die here. But has the damage been... Kill that! Kill this thing! It's doing so... You have to kill this. You have to kill this. And it's just not dying. The healing is way too strong. And this opportunity, this timing that maybe... But where you go from there, I don't know. But in this case, okay, so MSRM, this is a different build. I know Jardo's just been playing around with a single vault expand into very, very quick spire into Spriggans. And I've been playing around with that a little bit. It works out fairly nicely. Even though the bonus damage to light has gone down, this Hornet is so strong. It's absolutely stupid strong here with the bubble as well. And this just means everything else can get kited away. There's no Demon Hoof Tremors. And this Bubble Boy is going to go so absolutely nutty. A second one of these Hornets is on the map. And welcome back, friends. We have more games on the way. As we struggle, we strive to find some answer to Infernal versus Vanguard. I don't know what it is just yet. I'm sure that this is, we will find ways. For right now, we don't really have it. And I think this was the consensus, I think, of a lot of high level. Not to say necessarily that I'm not bad. Not to say that I am a high level Inferno player, but I talked to a lot of them. I did hit 1900 MMR the other day, and then I lost 100. I'm like, now barely below 1800. I'm like, what have I done? What have I done? Oh no, mistakes have been made. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so I think the consensus was that Infernals will struggle this patch. We don't know exactly what the solutions are going to be to a lot of the things. We've lost some tools, gained others, but kind of on the balance, it's a little rough. Anyways, we're going to move into game 3 of this series, and away we go. All right, we're here. It's game number 3, and as a reminder, if you want more Stormgate stuff, you should go. If you want me to be able to run more of these. First of all, you want to go support these players, MSRM, Albino, Nina, and Snockstar later on. There's a Matcherino link, !Matcherino in the chat. I would much prefer if you donate money to the prize pool versus subbing, although it is September, so you can get a discount on subbing to me. Just saying. But I would much prefer if you go and donate to the prize pool versus subscribing to this channel. Both help me out, but making sure these players make a little money off of agreeing to play today is absolutely the way to do it. Infernal OP race, Alipur says, nerf Gaunt, nerf Brute, Magmadon, Spriggan, Dragon, and all the units they have. Well, if you nerf them anymore, I think all the units, I think all their units start to heal the opponent instead of actually doing damage at that point. That's how that works. But anyways, yes, I would love to see how a Laser's been playing this. Unfortunately, I don't know that I have anyone that can go that I can really organize with and to go in and try to add a third. Ooh, nice job there. Albino goes snipes one of the oozes, drops another one. He got it too. Oh, okay, this is a problem. He's got. Oh, I don't know if he got the third one, but I know he got 2 of them. Laser's just cheesing them. Don't let them get there. Okay. Are you doing the Spriggan thing, Laser, or are you doing something else? Are you doing the Spriggan thing, or are you doing something else? Oh, wow, that's weird. We went from 144 viewers to 47 viewers on Twitch. Something is, Twitch analytics being a little bit weird today. Not exactly sure what's up with that one. Anyways, we're on game 3 right now, and MSRM, of course. Well. Laser will, Spriggans and Hornets Gaunts. Okay. Those are like 2 or 3 base all-ins. Yeah, I'm just like, I was looking at this, and it's like, you know, it's not a big deal, right? We're just hoping people are if helicarriers you leave. That's been kind of my experience as well. Nice job, MSRM, by the way, zoning this scat out. He really is looking for that last hit. It's not like he does a lot of damage. 5 damage a shot. All right. It is something. Ooh, looking for the surround there. Not going to find it. That is something I wish they would fix with pathing, where it is. Surrounds don't seem to matter. It feels all the units, I guess, because of the box around them to prevent clumping, is my guess is what's happening here. They don't really surrounds don't trap. So, you know, you get on top of all these units and they have a way to get out. It doesn't really do all that much. So I wish that was a thing. I think that would actually help out quite a bit. By the way, someone added another $5 to the Matcherino. I'll go check out who that is in just a second. But thank you so much for donating to these players to allow me to put on more events like this. Bale, was there some sign-up sheet for this, or how can I play for this one? I reached out to 4 people I knew and said, hey, you want to go and you want to play a best of 7 tomorrow. This was very last second. Otherwise, I would have done some sort of sign up. I think in the future, I'll try to make this a little bit more organized. Nice little surround there on the Lancer as well. So we talked about how, you know, surrounds don't really seem to stick all that well. Well, in this case, he does get a Lancer, and that is going to be very, very nice. Oh, BeoMulf here as well. Notice, by the way, what msrm has done. He's actually zoned out the Bobs, trying to make sure they don't have surface area on the repair, but I don't think that's really going to matter. So BeoMulf is going to get up, Lancers are going to get up, and Spriggans are on the way. So that is the story. That just seems to be how msrm wants to play right now. He thinks that Spriggans are the solution to things, and it has been the way I've been playing. This seems to be the best opener. Everything else just feels really hard against the Bio Ball. Again, I saw a lot of kind of Lancer mech in like the first day or so, and I know Prime Scott's gonna say Lancer Vulcan is the way to play. Just get Hornets if you need some sort of anti-air. I know that is what Prime Scott's gonna say. I know that's what Prime Scott is gonna say. Albino does not seem to agree, but certainly. But the other thing is, like, if you're going this Lancer build, Spriggans are very nice. Weavers can be solid, but they aren't light units, so they do take that bonus damage. Again, the reason they're nice is because Lancers have 260 HP. They have a lot of HP, and certainly once they level up, they have a tremendous amount of HP. So you do have that. But Spriggans should be on the map soon. Actually, they can be on the map right now. Shadow Cleft is done. Where are our Spriggans? They have not been made just yet. Maybe? Where are they? Is this are we saving up? Oh, MSR. Oh man, it is so easy. It is so easy to get supply block going for this style, because you're banking up all these charges and then all of a sudden you're not. So MSRM 50 out of 42. Just again, really kind of in this rough supply spot where you want to have 4 to 6 Spriggans on the map right now, and you don't. So that means, well, actually, Albino's massively supply blocked as well, so this is a bit of a problem. It kind of balances out at the end of the day. The Spriggans they're there, they exist, and they're going to get scouted because the vision camp gets taken right in time. But also the Hornet's going to take a while to pop out. So if Spriggans can get across them, if they can get on top of this hangar bay, they can make it so that nothing, like one Hornet pops out and that'll be it. So this timing is actually very, very potent here. So now, again, look how much slower it takes to get this down. If he snipes the hangar bay, the Spriggan numbers are actually, they're going to go to a level that they can't really start to develop at. So it takes a while. Now the Hornet's going to start to pop out a little bit more. Overcharge is going to be there. More Spriggans are going to start to arrive. Bruce as well. We drop the effigy away from where everything is. Now it's going to get taken down. But the hangar bay's dead in a single. Oh man, a single Hornet doesn't do enough here. Maybe with mass repair. No, it's not. Maybe repair turret. Repair turret seems to be doing extremely well. You need more Spriggans to burst through this. But for now, you know, we certainly see the Lancers fall. They don't have that. Oh, well, I'm trying to slow down a little bit. Oh, thank you, Jables, for the sub. I really appreciate it. But now, I guess there was a second hangar bay in the main base. Yeah, second hangar bay in the main base. So even taking one of these hangar bays down, not really enough. I mean, they're slow. They're very slow, but you can just go promote them. That's a nice burst heal. And then look at this repair-matic. Nothing dies under this repair-matic. So that was probably MSRM's best opportunity, I think. But now the Spriggans are just gonna die. They die. They can run. Do we have any Shadow Flyers? Is he making those? Do we have Conclaves on the way? No, we do not. So it's just gonna be Shadow Flyers. And again, this idea: if you have Shadow Flyers, you can turn around on the Hornets, burst them down, and then, well, there's no anti-air, right? If the Hornets are dead, there's no anti-air. Seriously though, Exos had a Shadow nerf. They feel like they do half damage now. As an Inferno player, I don't feel like that. Anyways, Spriggans are now going to show up on the other side, and hey, that's a free Hornet eventually. I mean, they take very little damage, but they're slow. They have to run away. That's going to be a dead Exo as well. Now, this third base under heavy threat. Now, if you get the Spriggans home, that's going to be interesting. But, oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. So, oh, man, 350 Luminite down the drain. Does not feel very good. The Spriggan, again, does not kill Exos very quickly, but at least they don't shoot very fast. And now, well, Magmadon runs forward. Quick Draw Hustle is good, but when you're slow, not quite as good as otherwise would be. Tries to get on top of these Exos. Get on top of the Exos, you're fine. But the Spriggans on the other side, they've died as well. And for the third time in this series, the Spriggan build just does not seem to work. And this one was probably the best opportunity. This was probably the best opportunity for anything to happen. Because, hey, one of the hangar bays went down. I mean, yeah, it was something. And now, well, the ground army's going to fall a little bit, certainly. But we have no Shadow Flyers. So the Spriggans, they just die. It's the long and short of it. The Shadow Flyer, the Spriggans, they just die. There are Gaunts here now, and that is something. But we certainly don't have... oh, there we go. Nice drop of a Shroud Stone. But there's no third base. Now, granted, Albino's on 2 bases as well, so there is that. But without a Ritual Chamber, and I don't think we have one. Yeah, without a Ritual Chamber, without Plague Axes, without speed, it's not very good. Snowdrop W saying that, ah, man, Exo used to one-shot Magmadons. Now it takes 4 shots. Oh, no. And yes, the game does look much, much better. To the point, actually, I'm looking at the terrain and the lighting, and some of the units is like, man, it's almost like the people are like, oh, you know, it's unrealistic. Well, the terrain's almost a little too realistic. To the point where it feels a little bit weird. I don't know. We'll get there, right? There will continue to be visual passes. But for now, third base on the way once again. There's the Ritual Chamber. Again, very slow. msrm banking a ton of Therium. And I gotta say, I am very surprised to see him take this base. And, oh, okay. Well, Shadow Flyers not gonna aggro. Notice the split away, because once Shadow Flyers start to attack, they cannot stop. So ideally, you're committing the Shadow Flyers onto the cluster. Okay, well, he's gonna take 1 for 3 Shadow Flyers. Not really the most cost-effective trade, certainly as the minus armor doesn't apply to the rest of the Hornets. And that is a little bit painful, but if you can slow them down, oh, the bubble as well. I mean, the counterplay here is just, if you can pull it off as the Vanguard player, the counterplay is so strong. No, I mean, Prime Scout, I was never complaining about that. I was one of these people that really didn't care about the visuals at all. I thought it looked fine. A bunch of people said, you know, visuals are too bad. I don't really care. And it does look a lot better now. I just feel like the terrain and how realistic the terrain is versus everything else in some situations can just be a little bit of an uncanny valley. I don't know. But anyways, third base now done, mining off of it. I am very surprised that we didn't see msrm try to take this base, because Therium, good unit. Therium, in fact, very good unit, as the Spriggans are actually... Maybe they're not. I thought they were killing the brute. Apparently they're not. But here comes another army here. And this time, this is where the Bioball gets scary. The Lancers and Exos, sure, fine. They're a problem. When you add the med techs on top, when you add the healing on top, it becomes very difficult. So for now, we're going to see a Shroud Stone get manifested and will die immediately here. But if you get Magmadons on top, ideally you drop the slow behind them. You drop the slow right there. There we go. Now try to get trapped. But unfortunately, the Magmadons, their stun was really a little bit too fast. So now they can't really get on top. They don't have that ability. Demon Hoof Tremors, not even there. But again, that bonus damage versus heavy is really nice. Gaunt try to run. Now Effigy moves forward. And do we have... No, we don't. So there's no infest available, not in this army, but now try to clear these trees up, I guess, from msrm. I don't know that's the play necessarily, but now as these Exos continue to start to go down, if you get the Exos down into a manageable number, the Spriggans and everything else can kill the rest, and then Magmadons, they really do go ham. But overcommitment, name of the game here. Once these units start to go, and now there's the stun, and that does buy some engage. But I feel like when you open... what's it called? Why am I blanking on the name here? When you open Shadow Cleft, there we go. When you open Shadow Cleft like this, because you're going Spriggans, I feel like it's almost better. And yes, bonus damage versus heavy is we can't actually show that, unfortunately, but on the trample, bonus damage versus heavy is very good versus these Lancers. But I feel like going and getting just a single getting the stun, getting Seismic Slam on top of the on top of a Harbinger, just dropping this kind of from behind on top of a lot of the Exos, enables an engage. And I think it's actually, it can be very strong. I think it's very excuse me. There's no way to Does turning off drag scroll work now? Is my question, because I know it didn't. Turning off drag scroll didn't do anything last time, or yeah, or it's turning off edge scroll. Didn't really work last time. Still doesn't work. That setting is bugged. Anyways, base on the right side will fall down here. Bonus damage to heavy means these exos, they just shredded. Yeah, they've been nerfed a little bit, but more than enough to take this base down. So now it's a two base Inferno player. Albino, he's on 4 bases. He has that power to him, building these bobs 3 seconds faster at a time. I feel like they may have overtuned that just a little bit, just a tiny bit, you know. We'll see. Where are we going? So we're only on Central Command, but High Command is on the way. So that means that we're going to get to helicarriers eventually. And, you know, we talked about this bio ball and how hard it is to kill. msrm, he got the chase. That worked out fairly well. And he does have an Elder Shrine, which importantly means he heals 4% white health per second on creep. He will be able to go, and he's going to have Raging Tendons very quickly. So that means eventually the Magmadons are going to be able to get engaged. Before then, it's really, really hard, so you got to kite backwards. Of course, we don't even... There we go. Now stuns go down a little bit, but again, you just kite away in these. They're just very, very, very scary. Shadow Flyers on top don't do anything. That's not going to work out, but again, I feel like you just need to wait for Raging Tendons. Otherwise, you just don't get the engage you're looking for. So ideally, you bring everything on top. Now, there we go. Raging Tendon seems to be done. Gets on top of everything. Slow on the backside. This has to be the time. And coming on out. And the Infest is there. Tries to kite on forward. There has to be another one. Has to be another dash on top of things. The heals are going to get taken down. msrm has found his timing. You wait long enough. The Elder Shrine's there. And the Helicarrier's not really possible. Not available. Not just yet. Spriggans as well. You got to dash forward. Keep this momentum going. But even still, even as this happens, tries to get on top of all the X's. Everything gets kited down, running away and disengaged. Now, this, you killed a lot here. You reset the supply. This was good. This was very, very good. But you need more Magmadons. You need more Therium. You need to get another army up. This was step 1. But if you can get a flank in for step number 2, if you can go drop a Harbinger with a stun in step number 2, maybe that's going to be the play. And maybe I'm just worried. I do believe in Seismic Slam. I do think that is something that has to get added in later into this game, and I think it's just something that has been underutilized. It's not even all that expensive. It's 250 total Therium, I think, to get 1 Harbinger and to get Seismic Slam. Hey, CD and Shepard, thank you so much there for the Prime sub. Glad you're here on this Sunday afternoon. But now there are other attack angles, right? This is where things get scary. Now, Wraithstone is actually super powerful in this setup. If you can go, if the army's in position, the slow is very nice, but unfortunately, msrm not able to get the engage. Now, the Wraithstone's done that. Is Therium down the drain? And, you know, percentage damage is good, not maybe necessarily enough. And this Magmadon is just getting taken down. Shroudstone Manifestation, though, is really nice. Infest on top of the entire army as well is solid. But because we're in tier 3, because there's survival protocol available, these Exos are just, even when they die, they don't die. Even when they die, they do not die. Even still, Exos, well, Lancer, or excuse me, God's trying to get on top of things. There we go. Tier 3 available as well. So we do have the Shroud upgrade. That is something. It means that this effigy can be placed much further back and still drop Shroud on everything. This Magmadon on the left side is the problem. This a Wraithstone? No, it's just a Shroudstone. Okay, and Flaming Imp's available, but you have to pair things up. There needs to be a slow. There needs to be a stun to make sure that things happen. I think actually, so they brought it back, right? Flaming Imps are it's a 1.5 second activation time, I think, and the Harbinger stun is 2 seconds. So I think I am, as I'm watching this more and more, I am becoming more and more of the belief that you go Flaming Imps, you get a Harbinger stun on top, you go Seismic Slam, and you just drop them on top. And there really is, the only counterplay is whatever units don't get hit by Seismic Slam. Oh, it's 1 second now. Okay. Now, it was 1.5, now it's 1. Because a bunch of Shroudstones are going to get killed, not canceled. That's a bit unfortunate. And, oh, hey, there we go. Some decent connections. Meanwhile, Spriggans on the other side, they just don't do a lot of harass damage. That's the problem. So Spriggans, they're doing what they can. Man, these fights from msrm are just a little bit disjointed. That Hellborn timing was very nice, and this is the problem. This is the late game problem with Inferno player, or with Inferno realistically. there's no good way to go and spend your money. You know, you run out of Therium. Oh, around the corner here. TV, you know, corners are a Terran's best friend. They are certainly a Vanguard player's best friend as well. You just kite around it and it just does not work. So that's still a Shroud Stone, no Wraith Stone. More imps have been made. And you have to hit a flank here. You cannot just go and kind of go front to back. The armies are just too fast. That is going to be the story, long and short of it. Bubble here on top of this Lancer, so it's just not going to die. Shroud Stone falls down once again. Magmadon stun. And the slow, hey, you know, Infest is good. But this needs to get paired up. You cannot get a hit one-on-one, which is what's happening. It's like one structure, one unit. And the trades are just way too bad now. At this point, there were some opportunities. I started to believe a little bit. Just once you lock on, once these imps lock on, they can go a mile, kited on top. But anyway, once this snowball starts to happen like this, it becomes very hard. I thought msrm had an opportunity, but he just didn't have the eco. And at this point, msrm is up a base. msrm has just way too much. And 1500, no way to spend this 1500 Luminite at all. It's just not useful. It just doesn't do anything. More Hornets are getting made. No even Helicarrier is necessary. Albino has the tech. He has the timing. He has everything that he needs to break this game down. And this was a much closer game from msrm. He had those timings. He had that tier 3 turn that looked really good. But at the end of the day, just not enough. And this just late game kite, Nanoswarm, anything that's Nanoswarm doesn't die at this point. And msrm will fall down. Game 3 also goes the way of Albino. Man, this lighting makes it look so much better. Yeah, it does. It really does. Flame Imps, the problem was he was having a couple, and the Flame Imps are just getting killed before they go and do anything. So that's the problem. By the way, Jason Jacinto 3 with a $10 donation to this prize pool. Hell yeah. Magic Box saying, love SG, want to see it grow and succeed for $5. Thank you so much for helping this out. I thought there was someone else that also donated 10, but apparently that adds up. Yeah. And Harris Bro, and of course DM Nors earlier. Thank you so much for adding to the prize pool. Yeah, I think Weavers are solid, but against I don't know how good they are against Bio. I don't know how good, like, once the medtechs are out. True. I don't even know that they have AI issues. They just get targeted down really fast. I'm telling y'all, Seismic Slam coming in from a flank with 8 imps inside of it blows that army up. It blows. I think that might be this. It's not an easy execution, but I think that might work. The problem is that Harbinger's a heavy unit. So if the Exos decide to target it down, they will kill it very quickly. So there is that. Anyways, we move on to Last Hope. And what is perhaps the last game in this series. Albino looking very good. So Last Hope, of course, is a map. By the way, we got to talk about a couple things. No longer is this pseudo-random. This is totally random spawn. You can be cross spawn, north spawn, vertical spawn, horizontal spawn. All of that is gone. That has been fixed. It is now truly random. But the thing I want to talk about here is notice what we're seeing. This is a double vault opener from msrm. He's not going any quick expand build because there are so many creep camps on Last Hope in particular that even though the camps have been nerfed, it is worth going for a map control play. It is absolutely worth going for a map control play. The money on the map is totally worth it. I love it, by the way. My roommate just went and texted me. She's at a farmer's market. She's like, I got these fun things. I got like a basket of shishito peppers and some other stuff. Like, I just thought that you might have fun cooking with this because I do most of the cooking in the place. Psionics. Oh, did you just double the prize pool? Sorry, 1 second for losing the game sound. Psionics just doubled the prize pool. Thank you so much there, dude. Did you have a message with that? So glad to see more content. Absolutely. Glad you're here, Psionics. Psionics single-handedly making sure that this, making sure that we can run more events. So I'm going to try to run these every Sunday, get some sort of sign-up going where we're just going to run 2 or 3 best of 7s and have it be community funded and see where we can go with that. I think that makes a lot of sense. So if you want more of these, first of all, again, make sure to follow on Twitch. Make sure to go sub to the YouTube channel because this does live stream on YouTube as well, not just Twitch. Donate to the Matcherino pool because then I can say, hey, players, go and look. We get money on the Matcherino. It's great. Also, if you want to sub to me, donate to me as well. I do appreciate it. Makes it a little easier to justify the time things that are happening. But also let me know what matchups you would want to see. I think that's the way we're gonna do this. Not tank is a great solution to look at like Swiss and bracket stage stuff. But I like this idea of doing a kind of a money match type of setup where if we want matchups, if people want matchups. Hey, Harsbo, thank you so much for gifting the community a sub as well. You're awesome. I really appreciate that. But anyway, if there are matchups that people want, I'll try to get them organized. I think that is maybe a little bit more interesting to kind of do a Stormgate Sundays, Sunday Showdowns type of thing. I think that's a fun idea, you know? Gift Celestials, I want to know how to get good. Well, we have Nina versus Stockstar coming up after this. So, don't worry, we will have some Celestial versus Infernal. Laser versus Luciferon next Sunday. That might be a little more expensive to pull on. A Laser, what would the price will have to be for you to play Luciferon in the best of 7 next Sunday? If you're still here. I don't know if you're still here. But anyways, speaking of this, because this is a double vault opening, you just go and the goal is to take all the creep camps. And it is a little bit harder for Vanguard players to be out on this map well, just be out on the map as much. The scouts are no longer free taking every camp, so you do have to be. And Lancers are no longer as tanky. They are more expensive, but they are, you know, they do more damage against light units, but they're not quite as tanky. So there is that. For now, though, we're going to see a bunch of Lancers here. They're going to take some camps, and Albino's going to try to go and maybe counter creep just a little bit. And in the meantime, yes, a lot of these camps are going down, certainly. It's a lot. These Therium camps are very hard to kill. Oh, it's bugged right now. So sometimes it's not bugged. I guess if the... Wait, okay, is this... I'm very curious. So we're going to see the Brutes kill this thing eventually. Attack this thing eventually. Yeah, I don't know what the bug is. Sometimes you click on it and it doesn't actually tell you what the setup is. But anyways, it seems like msrm has a way to deal with this, right? You surround each one individually. You tank with the Brutes, the Fiend skill. Okay. It does require a little bit more micro to make sure you don't lose a ton of stuff killing these more expensive camps now. But msrm has his side of the map. He's expanding behind this, of course. Greater Shrine done. Double Twilight Spire on the way. Again, oh. Okay. They do fight Brutes better than last patch. That is true, Snowdrop. They fight Fiends much, much better. But they do take more damage against Fiends and Gaunts. So in general, they are just better. They are better against Brutes. In general, they're better against Brutes. In general, they do more damage, so they're better against Gaunts. If they get on top of them, if there's a Brute line, they're not as good because they take more damage from the Gaunts. So it's kind of a it's kind of a numbers game, realistically. But for now, we're gonna see the Lancers run across. Of course, they do bonus damage versus structures, but it's only 5. You know, there we go, +5 versus structures. So it's only 5. In the meantime, though, taking some of these camps back. Speed camp is gonna go. It was claimed by a Lancer. Albino just sending these Lancers that are not that expensive, right? It's 100 Luminite early on, not a big deal, and do what we can find. Meanwhile, Hornets getting started here, and do we have Ritual Chamber's done. Ritual Chamber by itself doesn't do anything. Now, the logic here might be, okay, I'm going to get some Gaunts, and I'm going to see what you do. If you go Hornets, I'm going to go and start to get Gaunt upgrades. If you don't go Hornets, I'm going to go Spriggans. But, I mean, let's be real here. If you go Spriggans, the Hornets will follow. So, I'm not exactly sure why this Ritual Chamber has been taken so quick. I guess he just wants Plague Axes faster. Fair enough. I mean, it is more expensive. It is To build the structure, it's 50 Therium. It's 3 Spriggans worth. It does slow your Spriggan count down by a reasonable amount. But I guess, you know, in this game, if you're doing this setup, and you know, if you're doing this setup, you go and you're like, okay, well, my Spriggans are on a timer anyways. I guess they're not really going to do all that much. So Spriggan's now trying to take the habitat down, but the mass repair is going to be there. So they are pulling mining off Therium. That is something. They're going to get this habitat. Okay. Habitat will fall. Now, this Spriggan tries to get on top, but again, with mass repair underneath, it's not going to go down. But you traded 50 Therium for a habitat, but it's only 4 Spriggans. And I think the interesting idea here is you get as much damage as you can. You get as much damage as you can done. And then you immediately go on to the follow-up. I don't know that we're going to get any more Spriggans made in this game or for a while. Instead, it's going to be a bunch of Gaunts. Again, Plague Axe is just about done. A Reaper Rush on the way behind that, of course, and it's going to be this big brute Gaunt timing, I think. I'm not convinced. I don't know. Again, the game is 0.1.0 has been very new. 0.1.0 is just literally just been added in 4 days ago. So meta is changing game by game, day by day, and it's really interesting to watch it evolve. So as we try to figure out what's happening here, I don't know exactly what the answer is going to be. Now, Bubble's going to show up. Oh, Shadow Flyers. I mean, you cannot. That bubble just... Yes, you can do damage through the bubble, but it is still kind of painful. So, MSRM third base now done. Building a couple meat farms because, well, man. Scaling, or I guess supply scaling for Infernals feels weird because you don't feel like you need... you don't feel like you need all that many meat farms, and then all of a sudden you're just constantly supply blocked. So anyways, for now, we're going to see the second tier. And the first tier camps are good, but not great. They were nerfed overall. The money that they are worth was nerfed. But now, looking at setup here in game number 2, or as we go into round 2, they're worth more. So it really is important to go take the second tier of upgrades kind of as quickly as possible. The second tier of that second tier of creeps as quickly as possible because it is a significant cast injection. What do we have? Reaper Rush. Most of the way done. Twilight Spires, of course, they have this. Spires have tons. They're fully charged up. Here's the story: is Demon Hub Tremors are complete as well. Okay, Elder Shrine's on the way. So tier 3 much quicker. Demon Hub, or what you want is Raging Tendons, I think. Yes, this is a best of 7. I'm torn. By the way, as we take a look at the overlay, so I amended the overlay. Do you all want to see, would you rather see a constant best of 7 kind of right, like to the left of where it says Stormgate Sundays, or do you like using the in-game rotator up here where it says Lost Hope and then rotates with everything? I don't have an answer. I don't know. Now, okay, we're gonna see. I don't know who got that necessarily, but we did see some damage getting taken by the Hornet. Certainly that is the case. But for tier 3, I think the biggest thing, once you get to tier 3, the biggest piece of value you can find... Ooh, Shadow Flyer, knocking down the Hornets. Very nice. Well, only one's going to get out of that one. And look at this armor this thing has. Where we are. Minus 150 armor. That is pretty significant. But now fight in the middle here. And we do not have Raging Tendons just yet. Tier 3 is not done. And you don't want to take this fight in the middle of the map before Raging Tendons is done. It's just not really something that is viable for now. Okay, we're going to see on Shroud, so Infest is getting applied on some of these units. Magmadons have to run forward. Once that stun is done, you kite away. You do not want to lose them. 150 gas, 150 Therium is very, very expensive, but we can see the Lancers starting to fall down, and once the Lancers fall, Gaunts can do a lot more. But even still, with this bubble, I mean, you bubble this Lancer, and he just chases everything down. So for now, is there a Hexen on the field? I think there may have been Hexen on the field. I think that that may have been some sort of acid trap. Yeah, okay. Hexen Mastery is on the way, so there is that. 4 bases done for Albino at this point, and MSRM taking the north side. 5th and 6th base. Again, the Therium here is the key thing. What does he have? No Raging Tendons, still not available. Where is that? Raging Tendons done now. So again, this is the timing we saw last game. This was the powerful timing here. We have Raging Tendons. You have that ability to go and get on top of the army and take it down, but it still has to be a flank. It is still has to do something for you. And I still, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I think they'll add that eventually. I have deeply oh, no, these imps. I don't think they can flame on either. Oh, no. Oh, God, that's a problem. That is so much economy potentially going down. But now fighting in the middle here. Raging Tendon's very nice. Slow. Albino's going to get hit by that one as well. Do we have any more stuns available? Anything on top of this one moves on to the right side. We're going to see Exos start to fall. And this one Magmadon seems like it's going to survive for now. It wants another stun, wants another opportunity, but will get targeted down. Now miasmas are here. 700% damage. Miasma on the right side as well, trying to make this fight happen, but there needs to be some Shroud. There we go, gets dropped down. Some more Infest gets dropped. More Infest available, but again, it's a problem. The kiting is there. The healing is there. Magmadons fall down. These fights are always front to back. I do not think that you can take these fights without some sort of flank, without some sort of angle to get on top from something else. Even just maybe combat drops. You know, get a Harbinger, drop 2 Magmadons on top of the army. Now, this is potentially some value here, as oh, poor imps, these poor beebs, these poor little imps. I was gonna say, you know, potentially a bit of a blunder. You trap the army into a corner, but doesn't matter at all. And now this Shroud Stone is gonna get taken down, and msrm is against the ropes. 40 supply down, trying to take this fight out on the north side. You know, he's gonna kill off all these X's, I think. There is that. I mean, man. Yeah, there we go. So they're gonna start to fall down. They still are infested, so this army will fall. And in the middle of the map as well, actually, wait a minute here. Infest Miasma goes down. Nightfall Infestation as well. Now, Shroudfall would go nutty here. Shroudfall would be so important in this setup, but he's just getting dove on top of nothing to box out, nothing to make sure these Lancers, nothing to make sure that they just don't take. They just run on top of all the Goths. And now, by the way, Mitigative Guard's done as well, so they've -2. They are just as strong, stronger now than they were before the patch. Now that we're on tier 3, you know, again, the Magmadon bonus damage versus heavy is solid. And msrm desperately fighting here. The base never died. He lost a lot of his imps. And it is 5 bases to 4. I don't know that Miasma felt like a death train. It is still significant damage. I don't know that Miasma... I think Miasma is still kind of fine. Oh no, well, more imps are gonna fall down here. And again, without the way, you can't even explode them to try to make something happen. And without any sort of stat, oh, there we go. There's the explosion, but that is all the imps. Every single Therium imp just cannot get on top, and you just kite away. You have to hit a flank. You have to force them to fight into your army. You have to go and give them something. Make it not a simple, okay, I'm just gonna run away. You cannot just let them run away, because if that happens, I mean, game is just, it just does not go well. And the lack of static defense here as well is a problem. We're going to see Shrouds don't get manifested. Imps are going to start to explode. You know, this is, oh, there we go. I mean, if you can get on top, they connect, they're solid, but they just don't want to connect. And I think at this point, the decision is very simple for msrm. I think the decision is just very, very simple. This army is away. I have to pounce on the army in the middle. Maybe that's going to work out. Effigy gets dropped here, and it does have the upgrade. Miasma goes down as well. Effigy not going down until right now, gets dove on top. Again, Shroudfall in 5 Animus. Drop the Shroudfall. It's so important. Everything has to be on Shroud right now, and it's just not. The army's getting taken down. msrm losing everything here. And yes, he's got 1,700 Therium in the bank, but it's not enough. It's a 4-0 for Albino. It's a 4-0 for our Vanguard player. The solutions were not there. The games got better as the series went longer, but no solutions just yet. And Albino takes it 4-2-0. Now, of course, if you like this and you want more Stormgate action, sub to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you go and follow me on Twitch as well, because these are going to be happening every Sunday. Best of 7s, money matches. I'll see you there. All right. Organic Kale, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome here. Friends, we're going to go to a bit of an ad break now, because we have to get our second series set up. We got to get our second series set up. All right, so we're going to ping them. All right, by the way, as we get our second series set up, this is one joint prize pool. So right now it's 35 for each, $35 for each best of 7 is how that's going to go. Just letting you all know. But we're going to go to a break, and when we're back, more games. So for now, enjoy the highlights, enjoy some ads, and I'll be back in like 3 minutes. But where you go from there, I don't know. But in this case, okay, so MSRM, this is a different build. I know Jardo's just been playing around with a single vault expand into very, very quick spire into Brigands. And I've been playing around with that a little bit. It works out fairly nicely. Even though the bonus damage to light has gone down, this Hornet is so strong. It's absolutely stupid strong here with the bubble as well. And this just means everything else can get kited away. There's no Demon Hoof Tremors. And this bubble boy is going to go so absolutely nutty. A second one of these Hornets is on the map, and you want critical mastery, but there's nothing on the ground, and now there's nothing really to fight these Spriggans. Yeah, you know, Spriggans versus Exos. Technically, Exos don't do bonus damage. That is true. But this is still a significant problem for MSRM. And without Raging Tendons, there's no way for the Magmadon to really get on top. Certainly not to chase down. So, third base halfway done for MSRM. Technically, we can call this one the third base, but third Luminite base about halfway done. Albino's had his for quite Twilight Spires. Now he has 3. And that is certainly true. And he has been able to take down the base on the right side, taking down a lot of these Hornets as well. But they're just going to return to hangar, even as fast as they are, even as slow as they are. They're still fast enough to escape. And actually, a single Bob kills the effigy as well. So that's going to go down this Shadow Cleft, about halfway done. But this damage with his Lancer run by on a map that is just as wide open as it is just so much. So many of these imps are going to go down to the point where he's okay trading these now. Ideally, the low ones, they're going to get away. But there is just, it is insane amounts of economic damage that Albino is and he's just going to try to kill it. So Infest goes down, Albino doesn't dodge, but he's slowed to high heaven anyways. But there's a second Hornet on the map, and this is just, I mean, you killed an Exo. There is something there, but now all these Brigands are going to get keeped down. I mean, this one's very, very slow for the moment. But that was not enough damage. Tier 3 veterancy available, but it's still going to die. Absolutely still going to die here. But has the damage been... Kill that! Kill this thing! It's doing... You have to kill this. You have to kill this. And it's just not dying. The healing is way too strong. And this opportunity, this timing that maybe... And do you want to play a best of 7 tomorrow? This was very last second. Otherwise, I would have done some sort of sign up. I think in the future, I'll try to make this a little bit more organized. Nice little surround there on the Lancer as well. So we talked about how, surrounds don't really seem to stick all that well. Well, in this case, he does get a Lancer, and that is going to... The Hornet doesn't do enough here. Maybe with mass repair? No, it's not. Maybe repair turret. Repair turret seems to be doing extremely well. You need more Spriggans to burst through this. But for now, you know, we certainly see the Lancer's fault. They don't have that, I'm trying to slow down a little bit. Oh, thank you, Jables, for this. Does not feel very good. The Spriggan, again, does not kill Exos very quickly, but at least they don't shoot very fast. And now, well, Magmadon runs forward. Quick Draw Hustle is good, but when you're slow, not quite as good as otherwise would be. Tries to get on top of these Exos. Get on top of the Exos, you're fine, but the Spriggan's on the other side. MSRM. I don't know that's the play necessarily, but now as these Exos continue to start to go down, if you get the Exos down into a manageable number, the Spriggans and everything else can kill the rest, and then Magmadons, they really do go ham. But overcommitment, name of the game here. Once these units start to go, and now there's the stun, and that does buy some there. And the helicarrier's not really possible, not available, not just yet. Spriggans as well. You gotta dash forward, keep this momentum going. But even still, even as this happens, tries to get on top of all the Exos. Everything gets kited down, running away and disengaged. Now this, you killed a lot here, you're down. And this was a much closer game from msrm. He had those timings, he had that tier 3 turn that looked really good. But at the end of the day, just not enough. And this just late game kite, Nanoswarm, anything that's Nanoswarm doesn't die at this point. And MSRM will fall down. Game 3 also goes the way of Albino. Tell you what the setup is. But anyways, it seems like MSRM has a way to deal with this, right? You surround each one individually. You tank with the brutes, the fiend skill. Okay. It does require a little bit more micro to make sure you don't lose a ton of stuff killing these. Welcome back, friends. It's Nina Snockstar, our second series. It's taking a little longer. We don't have an East Coast host, so we're gonna try. There's some tech you can use where apparently, if 2 players go and they form a party, it should form on the server where that is best for both, because there's no server select at the moment. So that's the idea. We're going to see if it's going to work out. Try to make this as fair as possible. Nina's like, oh, we're already friends. And Snuxter says, yeah, but, you know, if you 4-0 me here, I go offline. They should make change that if the brute dies, they spawn enemy fiends. Oh, Tukatai. Yeah, if that doesn't work, we can have Tukatai do things. By the way, as we take a look, where are we? At Timo as well. Thank you so much for adding to the prize pool. $10. No notes. I really do appreciate it. Reminder, by the way, we do have a couple codes as well. You can go subscribe to the Matcherino YouTube page. I believe that is. You can unsubscribe whenever you want. That adds 32 cents to the prize pool. You can download an Android app and immediately delete it. That gives $2 to the prize pool. And you can go follow and subscribe to, I guess, this content creator and immediately unsubscribe. That's 4 cents to the prize pool. 4 cents, not a lot, but, you know. So it goes. That's what we have. Hope Monk is reading chat. They should give Brute a body pillow so it looks yes, but here's the question, Smile. What is the Brute's waifu? What is the Brute's waifu? Is Stormgate already dead, NetWars? No. Player counts doubled compared to what it was before the patch. And again, I fully acknowledge that 0.0.0 was bad. I fully acknowledge that the early access launch was not very good. But if they can keep doing what they've done on this patch, what they did for 0.1, I mean, massive improvements across the board. I think the balance is still a little scuffed. I think Infernal is the lagging race right now. Obviously, you can win with it. You can win games with it. Laser just beat Percival in the grand finals of the Goblin Cluckfest. But, you know, realistically, I think it is the lagging race. I don't think it's nearly as good. So I think we're gonna need a balance patch or two to even that out a little bit. But every patch, if they can keep the pace of improvement that we saw for 0.1, and if you want to see my full thoughts on 0.1 exclamation mark patch, I made a 45-minute video going over everything I care about. You know, not everything, but everything I care about. Yeah, Spriggans have been figured out. It's yesterday's meta. This is true. NetWars, it has never 100 active player base is even in the depths of okay, if we say like the timing when there's no one, like none of the active zones are awake. Even one then wasn't really getting down to that point. And active, you know, concurrent active is not even active player base at the same time. So all I'm saying is that Doomer, if you're gonna be a Doomer, you know, at least be accurate in your Doomerism, okay? Yeah, I have shorter queues for 1v1 than I do in StarCraft. Now, granted, it is global matchmaking, not server-based matchmaking, but I've shorter queues for 1v1 than I do for StarCraft. Again, that doesn't say much about the player base, but, you know, people are playing. But I think we're at like 5 or... Psionic, you just... Another $30 to the prize pool. You're fantastic. I love you. Great. Okay, we have a lobby. Sorry, it took a second. Just getting all things ready to go. Titans Causeway is going to be map 1, and then it's going to be loser's pick. That's how that's going to go. And yes, you know, there will... Hey, JV Post, thank you so much for resubbing 2 months on Prime Gaming. You're fantastic. Thank you so much. But anyway, yes, you know, there are certainly... Let the players know I'm ready to go. We're like, ready. Nina's like, no, but let's do it. Wait a minute. I'm very confused. OBS is telling my replay buffer is not running, but somehow... Also, I was able to store all the replays. Klempe. Most important question, BeoMulf. Yes or no? Yes or no about what? Important questions. I don't know. Anyways, here we go. Let's get into game one. In the upper left, in the blue here. And they fixed it. I didn't even notice, but blue's on the top. Oh, they fixed that on the overlay. I'm so happy. Anyways, in the upper left for Aftermath, he's the Infernal player. It's snar. And in the bottom left, in the red, going for actually not yeah, not even okay, going for Creation Chamber first. She has been known as just Sloth, known as Anna here as her current Steam account, but this is Nina. They're saying Anna equals Nina equals Grimmy equals Justice Sloth equals a Dwagon in this world. Although that does get confusing because Grimmy is also their own player. Grimmy is also their own player. As by the way, this prism is getting very low. Nina, do not lose this prism. Nina, do not lose this prism. Nina, do not lose this prism. Nina just lost the prism. I don't know what's up with that. But are we okay? Collection array is not surged. Wait a minute. Did Nina? Okay, it looks like I didn't have chance. Okay, the game is over. We're good. They left the game. There was some issue. So I was like, wait a minute, what's happening here? Why is this not working? This is like, is something weird? Something was weird. All right. We're okay. We're fine. We're going to get the game started for real this time. I was like, wait a minute here. I have never had this happen in a single game I've played, and I do not play at the level that Nina plays at. You know, I'm like 18, 1900 MMR. And I have never killed a prism. I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening? Anyways, we're going to get into Furious Resolve for real this time. The game's going to get started for real this time. The new casting UI caused a bug. What's the bug, JV Post? Okay, we're gonna get into the first game of this series for the second time. In the bottom left, in the red, this time spawning again bottom left a little bit differently, but for Aftermath, Infernal player is snar. Bottom right, again Creation Chamber first, coming out of our Celestial player in the blue. She's Nina. JV Boast messing with you. I was so excited. So the big thing that they fixed, and I guess maybe it's random and maybe it's actually not fixed, but the way it was working previously was, for whatever reason, the observer UI was always swapped. So if someone spawns up here, they were going to be in the bottom of the UI, and if someone spawned down here, they were going to be at the top, and it messed with me so much. It made life so very difficult. But, you know, for now, that's not really a thing. And, ooh, interesting. Conclave first, coming out of snar. I know I've talked to him a little bit about how opening Conclave is actually sneaky good because you get the speed and the health camp fairly quickly. With the new bonus damage versus light, you can knock these slimes down very, very quickly. So we'll see exactly how this is going to go. And, you know, there has been some conversation about lag and ping, and, you know, theoretically, shouldn't that not matter? Because, hey, this is rollback. Rollback makes it better, but not perfect. It makes, you know, playing on a home server for in StarCraft 2 would be like, if we're playing on US Central versus you know, someone in Sweden or Bulgaria versus in the United States, and like Nina is in on the central side, it would be a nearly unplayable advantage. Maybe not unplayable, but massive advantage for the player that's on central. And in this case, it's annoying, but not the end of the world. So, you know, again, rollback doesn't fix it, but it does make it a lot more reasonable. As Nina, by the way, also, we talked about why would you open Gaunts in this setup? Why is that the thing? Well, again, you clear speed and health camps very quickly. On top of that, it means you actually have an answer to the Seraphim early on, which is really nice. It's, oh, I'm not sure who got that one, but now, yeah, you do have to run away with the Seraphim with that speed boost. But now getting on top of the Hexen, even still, it looks like, okay, Nina gets the speed cam, but doesn't get the buff from it. So gets the money, doesn't get the buff. Now Natural's here. And it is a bit of a coin flip. So if your opponent's going Argents, which I don't know exactly everyone who's doing that, but if your opponent's going Argents, you want to go and you want to open like double vault, because then you can build a bunch of fiends, surround the Argents, and knock them down. If your opponent's going Seraphim, you want to open Conclave, because, well, brutes just don't shoot up. Very simple calculus there. So it is a bit of a crapshoot, and a lot of this is figuring out how your opponent plays. Nina is not, I don't think Nina's been an Argent player in this matchup. I think she has been going much more into this this Seraphim idea, this quick tier 2 idea, which means that going Gaunts is the thing that you want to do. So for now, is she gonna go and take the Skull Squisher? Does she have the yep, she does. Okay, so early pressure coming out from our Celestial player. She's gonna go and get herself a nice V5 rocket launcher onto the other side of the map. And if you get good shots on the Gaunts, they do die. That is absolutely true. So we're gonna have to see how this early pressure works out from Nina here. Again, tries to snipe. There we go. Gets one of the vision creeps. Is gonna maybe get a second. V5. Oh god. Oh, he wasn't expecting that one. Oh man. That's a lot of damage right there. All the white health goes down. Lots of damage in general. Second shot, Snockstar. Where? Pay attention here, bud. That's not good. By the way, rocket launcher actually apparently claiming the vision cam. That's pretty fun. Oh, oh god. Oh no. This is now we're seeing the dodge, but the damage has been done. Absolutely, the damage has been done to the Gaunt. So every single Gaunt in this setup is just going to get taken down by all of these Seraphim, and no damage to the rocket launcher whatsoever. If Snockstar dodges those shots, maybe it's fine, but oh man, that was spicy. Another shot. Snockstar, dodge it, please dodge it. Oh god, oh it hurts. Oh, it's so painful. Now we're gonna see an effigy go down, and that means this rocket launcher will fall. But talk about some value. Talk about some value there. Third base now done, or now on the way for Nina. Going, just getting all the creep camps on the awkward sides of the map with these scanners early. What's she building behind this? Blast node's done, and once you have blast nodes, I mean, good luck getting any damage done whatsoever. So Starforge is getting added. Do we have any upgrades? Any tech structures? Not really. But late nodes turning into blast nodes, and again, bunch of getting a bunch of Gaunts versus blast nodes. One blast nodes hold like 20 Gaunts. It's very hard to break through. In this patch, did they fix the glitch that made it possible to put a V5 rocket launcher in the evac? I actually don't know. I don't know. I didn't see it in the patch notes, so I'm assuming. Oh, okay. Albino saying yes, they did. I didn't see it in the patch notes, but apparently that has been true. But now, okay, yeah, the healing zone right there, and you can just go back and forth. And only 2 Gaunts here defensively, no turrets, so these Gaunts will die. And then, well, okay, there we go. Shroudstone manifested, and that's 1 Seraphim dead immediately. But what is getting made? Okay, I said, sabers. Sabers are pretty good. Answers, no sabers. It's just gonna be scythes. Scythes, if you get them to critical mass, are very strong. They're hard to deal with. They can do up to plus 20 damage, 20 bonus damage. As this Seraphim has to just run. Will not run. Will not hide. Will not collect 200. Will not collect 200 Luminite. Will not pass go. But anyway, again, right now, just the Seraphim harassing a little bit. Get a couple of them, getting damage done to these imps as they run around. A little bit of economic damage. At this point, a couple imps aren't the end of the world, but it is annoying. Something that you do have to be careful with. And behind this, well, where are we at? We are at Greater Shrine. Yeah, I don't see nothing for tier 3. So we're just on Greater Shrine. And that means it's going to have to be Gaunts that are going to have to deal with this eventual Scythe transition that's coming in from Nina. And nothing else as you zoom around, gets another imp. And as long as you stay off creep, or not off creep, as long as you stay off Shroud, you're fine. As long as you stay off Shroud, you're not going to get infested. You're not going to take that tick damage. It's going to be okay. And I do like this shrouding, shroud spread that we see going down here, dropping the effigies to expand map control a little bit. I would like to see it spread towards the Celestial player, I think. Because that does, I have two minds about it, because we're also spreading towards the 4th base of Snockstar. But I was going to say, what it does do is it does enable Weavers if you want to go for those. Eventually, Weavers can be very, very good against a lot of ideas coming out of the Celestial player. Obviously not this game, because it's Scythe Seraphim. That is not something that, I mean, Weavers just don't do anything. They don't shoot up. But getting the spread forward a little bit can be very nice. So for now, second round of stuff is going to go down. Vision camps are going to get, they're going to respond fairly shortly. But again, we're seeing this speed up a little bit now. A bit of a weird effigy here. You could have dropped it right there and gotten it almost all the way anyways and been fine. But I guess that was a defensive effigy trying to take the fight against Scythe Seraphim or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure, but okay. So behind this, we have our scythes. We do have our scythes. Animancers, I assume, are going to start to join the fray fairly soon. Dark Prophecy's about halfway done. So Scythe Animancer is going to be the name of the game. There we go. One Animancer, full on energy already. And that's going to be the name of the game from Nina. You just slow everything down, chip damage, and then Scythes kill everything on top. That is a very powerful combination. And now, because, well, again, Nina has tier 2. She has this ability to go and Rapture to bring these... There's some sort of weird power. Like, my computer, which, by the way, there's a new computer here I got a deal on, and I talked about that yesterday, is a 750 watt power supply. There is nothing else on this circuit. Nothing should be blowing this fuse. And I have no idea why this is happening. So I'm sorry we're going to lose out on the rest of game number 1. I don't even know what to say. Oh, this really sucks. I'm very sorry, everyone. I wish that I wish I knew what was happening. I really, really do. I thought we had it solved yesterday. I streamed for 4 hours. It was fine. I'm wondering, and I'm talking to Claire right now, but like, she says it might be on the same circuit as the AC, but we have gone and like I had a higher wattage power supply connected to this circuit previously, and there were no issues. Am I on the same circuit as the kitchen? I don't think so. I'm the same circuit as the garage. Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. I don't know. This is weird because this has never happened before this weekend. Nina is streaming. There's a possibility to restream her. Yes, there is. So... All right. Wait a minute. That needs to be Nina SC2. All right, so we're going to take a look at what Nina's doing here. Again, I'm so sorry, everyone, about this. Well, hopefully it's going to be solved. Hopefully it's going to be okay. Is the stream going to YouTube still? Are we good on that? What, did it restart to YouTube? Yes. Okay, we're good there. I'm very, very sorry. What really is unfortunate about this as well is I'm just not going to have the... I'm going to have to go recast. Okay, anyways, this is super cool. We got to late game. Dragon's out. And this is going to have to be a big attack coming on in. Let me give me the preview so I can actually see what's happening. Big attack coming in from Snoxers. The game has gone even later. Big Hellborn shots as well. Again, Dark Prophecy forcing these things out to make it very hard for the engage to happen. But notice he's just targeting them down with the Hellborn every single time. So the Dark Prophecies aren't truly landing. And there's not a lot of scythes. Shadow Flyers here as well means it's very hard for the scythes to really get much of anything done. Purify gets dropped, so there's no infest, certainly not. But they're just all going to go down. And now there really is no answer. Not enough of an answer at all to this dragon on top, doubling the fiends that gets made. Nina just giving the position up, has to go on to the north side. Needs more of an answer, but doesn't really have an answer. Yeah, Dark Prophecy kills these fiends off very quickly. But those are free. Those are not something that really that Snockstar had to go and commit to whatsoever. Can we go and can we make this higher res? Is this max res? Anything the washer dryer kicking on? No, nothing's running there. No F for me. False alarm. Just yeah. Again, I'm very sorry, guys, but we should still be good for game number 2. I have no idea what happened. This happened at the same time yesterday, so it might be an AC thing. AC might be on the same circuit, but even though this is a 750 watt power supply, and previously it was a 1,000 watt PSU. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Anyways, big Nightfall Infestation slows everything down, and that means that the engage has to happen. Now, these prophecies hurt like hell. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of damage getting added in, but with no scythes on top, or no sabers, excuse me, on top, there's not additional splash damage. So the prophecies by themselves are chunking, but they're not killing. Now, with more scythes on the way, though, we're going to get on top of this Hellborn, try to knock that thing down, maybe get on top of the dragon. But eventually, that invulnerability will fall down. Yes, it is plus 20 damage. Yes, it does last 10 seconds. You just really don't die. But there's no clearing. There's nothing really to clear these fiends. And now, well, yes, you have an upgraded Sovereign's Watch, and that's really fun. There's just not enough here anymore. There's just not enough here. That means that Nina, I don't know how much she can do at this point. It seems like I'm so mad about this. This is a 17-minute game. It looks like it was pretty awesome once everything, once it started to shake out a little bit more. And we have lost out on so much of it. Yeah, AC would make sense. Probably installed in a beefier garage circuit if it's not 220 volts. The weird thing though is it's not. I know. She said it should be. My girlfriend said it should be on different circuits. And even then, like, it's not as hot as it has been this summer. I've streamed successfully on a beefier power supply this summer with no issues. And yes, I will ask them for the replay, so we'll be able to go and cast this game once the series is over. Probably that's probably what we're gonna do. And yes, Sonic85, I will be sharing the replays in my Discord. So if you go !Discord, that will give you a link to my Discord. I'll go and share the replays from both of these series today. Yeah, it's just ERCOT things. That's absolutely, we just blame ERCOT for this. We blame an old house that has aluminum wiring or something. I don't even know. For now, though, Nina tries to go for the run by, but there's a Wraithstone there that will not work. I need a boot up companion so we can go and move things around properly. Out of game 1 box. There we go. All right, welcome back, everyone. All right, there we go. Should be good there. Hey, Tugatai, you still here? I don't know who. Hey, Tugatai, you want to host games for me? Are you? Can you message me on Discord? Yeah, message. Okay. All right. We're gonna get into map 2 very quickly. Again, it should be good now. By the way, whoever added a bunch of money to the while everything was dead, Rusty Shacky adding 25 bucks to the prize. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so very much for that. You're awesome. All right, so Lost Hope is going to be map number 2. Tukatai. By the way, everyone go follow Tukatai. I know he's been doing some Stormgate casting as well. Thank you for hosting these. I assume you're talking like, thank you. You're saying, hey, Beo, thanks for organizing these, but also, yes, there is no that is a broken bot that I need to fix, but I don't have a Liquipedia page made. I'm very sorry. That is just how these things go. I last second put this together, didn't have the time. Now, if someone has gone and made a, yeah, no one's made a Liquipedia for it. So much to go make a Liquipedia. I will appreciate it. But for now, we're gonna move into Lost Hope. Game number 2. That was Snockstar taking game number 1. I am very sad we missed out, but you know, so it goes. We lost like 100 viewers. Hopefully we'll claw those back. We were, you know, we were like a nice 230 or so, I think, before everything fell down. Dislike. Dislike. I need to actually join. What am I doing? I'm like, guys, here's the lobby, and then I don't actually join the lobby. That is not smart. All right. I'm not a smart man. I am not a smart man. We're just waiting for Nina to be ready, and then we're gonna get into game number 2 of the series. By the way, shout out to everyone that agreed to play. Nina, Snockstar, Albino, msrm. Thank you for giving up part of your Sunday to go and thank you for taking part of your Sunday to go and give us some interesting Stormgate. Taking a look at the new patch. Big fan. All right, so we're gonna get into game 2 of this series. Start the recording, and let's get into it. So here we are. It's game number 2. Game number 1, of course, really interesting mid game, and then something happened. Again, power went down. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know what happened because I'm gonna go back and cast game number 1. Otherwise, if you're watching this live, we don't know exactly what happened. We don't know exactly how things resolved. All we know is that eventually Nina lost pressure. Snockstar got himself up to the late game, had a couple Hellborn just to target the Animancers down, and just had enough Shadow Flyers to blow up everything. He had a dragon as well, and life just became very difficult for Nina. But Nina, it's another day, it's another day, it's another game. This map is much, much better. This map is much, much better for the Seraphim build that Nina's going for than it was in game number 1. But even as I say that, yeah, I'm like, Seraphim build, because she is mining some Therium early. This is not creation first. This is collection array first. So it does slow down your tier 2. It does slow down your Legion Hall a little bit. So this may actually not be for the Seraphim idea. This may just be for, I've seen some Quick Guardian Nexus Kree builds on the new setup because Kree have been buffed. I've seen a bunch of different things. So we're gonna have to see exactly what it is that Nina wants to go for in this game. I think technically, again, because there are so many creep camps on the map, you do want to go. Okay, it's gonna be the Seraphim build. I was gonna say you do want to go for the Seraphim build because that is absolutely what you want. Real Speedy Builders are asked, is this a pair? Yes. Apparently Celestials are, they're vegetarians. You know, we have Infernals, they eat meat. Celestials, they eat pears, and Vanguard, they eat bread. This is what the overlay gives us. Anyways, Legion Hall goes down. I think it's interesting that we're not seeing this get proxied. That was what we saw a lot of in the last patch, where you would just go proxy the Legion Hall on the map on a lot of these different bases and go and just find value in that way. But in this case, it's going to be at home, and we're going to have a Fiend go up to, oh, okay, what exactly? Check the natural. Actually doesn't see anything, so slows the scout down a little bit. But again, Nina, she's taking the third, so that's fine. Importantly, because that is double Therium. Like, she gives access to this Therium patch and this Therium patch. So this one Fiend is going to do annoying things. It's going to try, but there's a Link node up, and Not that that does much of anything here, but the Seraphim's going to pop out eventually, and that is going to be fine. Now, I'm a little bit worried because this is a 1-1 opener. 1 base timing coming out of Snockstar. Has the speed camp to work with. Doesn't help right now. This Link Node's dead. You wanted that to be a strike node. You wanted that to be a blast node. If there's a blast node down, this attack just does not work. But for right now, Nina sees exactly what's happening. Sees all of the fiends, sees all of the brutes. And this, yeah, okay, is going to get turned into a blast node. Sovereign's Watch turned on him right now. But hey, there's an effigy here, and this is target 1 alpha. This is the problem. You take this down, there's not a lot of defense. It's a single Seraphim. Double Sovereign's Watch is going to try to keep Nina alive, and it seems like for the time being it will. Again, you're just buying time for the blast node. This Sovereign's Watch does not last very long. You know, it was fixed. It was fixed, so it actually targets the right units now. Not that that matters all that much here. But only a single Sovereign's Watch available. Again, trying to get on top of this Link node. And I think it dies again. Link nodes are not tanky. Blast nodes are, but Link nodes are not. And Nina is just getting 1 base all in. The timing was there. Snockstar found when he needed. Saw just how vulnerable this build is from Nina. And everything's dead. This is not a setup. Nina has no power. She does not produce quickly at all. And this entire setup is just going to eventually fall down. That's what this is. A single Seraphim does not solve the problems that Nina's running into right now. And there's no way. I mean, yes, this is trying to turn into a blast node, but before the blast node's done, it doesn't have armor. It just doesn't survive. And there we go. Nina is hella dead in this game. Snockstar with the all-in timing gets everything he needs and more, and that's a game 2 victory for our Infernal player. All right, well, there we go. Game 2. Was that 2 conclaves? I'm actually not sure. I think it was just single conclave. Boneyard. Is this live? Who called in the fleet? Yes, this is live. The game is live. Can't really tell which race is the strongest this patch. I think technically it's Celestials. Yeah, I don't think you did anything more than that. I think that was just Vault Conclave. You can get a surprising amount of stuff. And yes, that was a 1 base all in msrm. There was no natural. There was no third. It was a 1 base all in. Yeah, but I mean, a natural at the end, once the all-in's already done. Once the all-in's already done, I mean, what are you gonna do? I do think Celestials, from my experience again, but from also just seeing how people talk about it, it does feel like in the first 4 days of the patch, Celestials have a bit of an advantage. But of course, Snockstar is very, very good. Snockstar is very, very good. So, can't be too surprised there. Anyways, we move into game number 3 of this series. Snockstar up 2 games to 0. I thought they'd fixed it. Apparently they have not, but it's fine. Boneyard, map 3. So here we are. Again, it's been that Seraphim build. Nina tried to be a little greedier with it in game number 2, opening collection array into the creation chamber, and that meant that just the first Seraphim was popping by the time the all-in from Snockstar hit, and that feels very, very vulnerable. So Nina actually, she's got this morph core on the map. The traditional that we saw Ariel do, the traditional proxy position would be here. You just put the Legion Hall right here, and you kind of clear these 3 camps. You go, you get the siege creep very quickly, and you go from there. I don't know if that's what we're going to see in this game. This morph core has taken a rather roundabout route. It's going to go here. Okay. Even further out of the way. It is still technically on a position you can be there. You can exist on. So it's something that can get taken down eventually. Where is it that we're seeing go here? So let's see. Arc ship halfway into an arc station. Certainly there is that. Prism, of course. Well, this is a little bit annoying, but really, this Prism should not die You know, that is we had that one setup, but that was just because the players disconnected. So Link Node's gonna go down. We're gonna have actually nothing getting made. Nina's trying to be very efficient with this one. Now the Arc Station's there, which means we should see the Legion Hall go down. There we go. Legion Hall popping. Seraphim on the way behind this, and you just make sure, there we go, you surge off the collection array. That means the prism gets healed and you will be fine. So recall back home, Noxstar has a reasonable idea about what it is that Nina's going for, whether okay, so I was gonna say reasonable idea about what Nina's going for, that this is Therium, double prism on Therium. That tells you, okay, Arc Station's done, this is gonna be a Seraphim build, but it's not the greedy one we saw on Lost Hope that got just annihilated immediately. So in this game, Noxstar is doing double Conclave, not a single vault, just a lot of gaunts, and that is very good against the Seraphim idea, right? Seraphim, they can kill off a gaunt here or there, but they don't kill everything. And yes, if you surge a collection array, it does in fact heal the prisms around it. That is a very nice thing you can do. But now, okay, Nina took the siege tower as the first camp that she took. So now there's just going to be a random siege tower on the map pushing forward. Single Seraphim, single V5 rocket launcher second Seraphim on the map. And again, we saw how powerful this was in the last one. Is this going to work out? I don't know. You know, it's kind of fun. 120 damage to structures means that these effigies get annihilated here. Second one's going to pop up just in time. And this time, Noxstar's not really going to take damage from this big war. Okay, well, he takes a little damage, but he's on. Yeah, he's fine. He's on Shroud. That means that that means the Gaunts white health regen is going to be okay. So the first pressure doesn't really accomplish a lot. It does kill off one of these effigies. That's going to be pretty fun. We do have, what do we have? Plague Axes. Not done, not even started yet. Noxstar doesn't have quite enough. There we go, Therium for it. So now Plague Axes are going to be on the way. Give him 2 minutes. He's going to have Plague Axes on the map. That's pretty nice. And we're just going to see Nina take the rest of the map, right? With the Seraphim early on, denying as much money as possible. And yeah, you know, you can't fight this army, so eventually the passive income is going to go the way of Noxstar, just because, again, it's a lot of gaunts, and you don't fight that all that easily. But in the meantime, well, hey, you're going to kill off a lot of these. Well, there we go. You're going to kill off a lot of these imps as they get into the healing zone, but that doesn't really keep them alive. Not enough. And that's 4 imps going down. That's going to be these gaunts falling here as well because, well, there's just not enough of them here. And remember, yes, the healing zone is nice, but as long as the Seraphim, well, actually, they don't even have to be unshrouded. They don't even have to care about being unshrouded at the moment because Plague Axes are not done yet. 45 seconds to go. That they can just go and kind of kill this stuff. It's fine. It's okay. The value is getting found here, and now, well, creep camps on the right side taken down. Now Nina's going to go and take this setup in the middle. This bruiser is nice, but yeah, half damage from creeps means that this bruiser is not going to kill anything. And more economic value that Nina is finding behind this. Is she taking any bases? She's still on 1 base. Is this like a 1 base Animancer thing? Oh no, I guess, okay, she did build a collection array here. Fair enough. I mean, it does make sure that taking these structures down is going to be somewhat difficult. It means that taking down the Legion Hall, for example, if Noxstar tries to go over and commit to that one, that will be a bit of a struggle. And with there being a blast node, so blast node, can we see how? So this is 15 armor on the blast node. I wish there a free link node somewhere. And it's 400 HP. So blast node, this is actually a surged blast node as well. So it has 25%. It does so much damage. But anyways, I wish I could have a link node to compare, but it's double HP, right? It's more armor, a lot harder to break. So Noxstar is going to go and take this Therium camp, I guess, and that's going to be fine. He's going to get himself a couple fiends off of that because, well, you know, he does have Plague Axes now. They're done. And what is Nina? Again, I don't know what Nina's transitioning to. Getting this energy camp is, I'm surprised she didn't commit to this earlier, actually. Getting this energy camp is so valuable if you're a Vanguard player in general, or if you're an Infernal player in general, because all your stuff relies on energy. Every little bit of anything you have relies on having good energy, and that means that if you have just up your regen, you're more effective on the map. You do more damage over time. So now V5 rocket launcher goes down. She could go and do this again. Guess maybe she doesn't have the energy available. I think she does. Forget how much Rapture costs. But a double, like, when Ariel does this, he's got like it's a quad timing. But okay, Animancer's on the Legion Hall. This is the prime Legion Hall as well, so they're going to pop out right there in kind of a bit of an awkward spot, but that makes this impossible to assail. Well, once Dark Prophecy is done. Prophecy is... Is it done? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. I click on it and I'm like, well, I actually, the upgrades there, they're in their passives, they don't really show, but hey, that's going to be a free hex, and any value you can find is always going to be, of course, very nice, preventing this money camp from getting taken down a little bit. Now Nina's going to find this 4th base and, you know, maybe kill it off. I don't, the 6 Seraphim is reasonable damage, but I don't know how much that's really going to matter now. Again, these are all infested for now. They're on Shroud, so you have to be careful with that one. Nina will have to run away. That's a free fiend, but it's all about the percentage damage, right? That's why infesting these units is just a little bit nicer. Splits on the Shadow Flyers. Shadow Flyers 2 commit, actually, and not a single Seraphim goes down. Nice splits there coming out of Nina, making sure that, again, you're looking to maximize value. So she's got her 3 bases, certainly. Tons of link nodes. I look at, man, I could have sworn that red was blast nodes, but I guess there's a, I don't know. I swore I clicked on this one. It wasn't upgrading. I could have sworn red was blast nodes. Apparently not. Or maybe it's a visual bug. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is Surge. I don't know that there's a visual difference. I guess there's there's this aura around it. But yeah, I don't know what, I actually don't know what makes the difference between like the red base and others, because, you know, realistically, like, Nina's on yellow energy. That's not what this shows. It's, you know, this is a surge strike. Well, I guess this aura is it being surged, but what, like, the link node and the warp node, they look, or the link node and the strike node and the blast node, they look the same. And obviously these are surged, so that's how they have the different particle effects. But I could have sworn there was some, like, when you make a link node by itself, it's blue sometimes. So I thought it was color that made the difference, but apparently it doesn't. I don't know. Anyways, for now, Animancers, Argent's on the field. We have, we're going to see Nina go, and she's going to find this extra base as Noxer tries to take even more. And this is not a fight. I don't think, yeah, there we go. Immediately, the effigy goes down. Now, Animancers, actually, I was going to say, I don't think this is a fight you can take, but Animancers are going to get found out here just a little bit. Dark Prophecy goes down. This is where life gets a little bit complicated, but the splits away are okay for now. Even still, I mean, that's a lot of damage being done here, and, well, Arc Station tries to go and make something happen. It's not really going to accomplish all that much. Has to run away. And Shadow Flyers, that's going to be some free prisms. That's all that is. But Dark Prophecy on the right side. Again, we will see this stuff get taken down. We will see these effigies. They go down. They last for half a second. They apply 1 round of infest. 10 seconds of percentage damage. That's something. And no upgrade, by the way, coming down on these Argents as well. So they only have 30 damage, not 50. But again, these prophecies are so very strong. We see 3 prophecies going down right now, and the Animancers, I mean, just with the Purify as well. The damage is so here. Nina just dumpsters this fight. Absolutely dumpsters this fight. Yes, there are still some units here, but there, yeah, absolutely. The prophecy says you're dead. That's what the prophecy says. And yes, there are. There's a lot of Shroud on the map. Are we at tier 3? Yeah, Elder Shrine. So the upgrade there that means you have more Shroud does exist, but I guess it's not done actually right now. But this army is incontestable for the moment. It's so far away from the production of our Inferno player as well. So just the rally is very slow. It's a lot faster for Nina at this point, especially. I'm assuming. I'm very surprised. This should be a prime chamber. I'm very surprised that that is not a prime chamber. But even still, you know, there's just the production is closer. So we have one of these animations just getting very low. Should die. But no, there we go. Now we see the channel right. Now we see that health beam that heals everything, that steals energy, that gives it back. And that's why these Animancers can be so very strong against a bunch of everything. Now Dark Prophecy goes down. You kind of wait once again. Everything gets healed. Everything dies. And I think here, no, there's not enough energy. There's not enough for just a bunch of, you know, sudden health bond resurgence to get a bunch of units out of these. Now, these 3 Hellborn, they represent a problem. They can target down these units that Nina has. They can force things back, and Nina's going to have to give this position up. Meanwhile, again, is she expanding? She is on the high ground here, so there is that. That is a very difficult position, but it looks like Nightfall Resurgence landed. That is a slow. That is a big deal, but Purify takes it off. And that means for now, Nina's going to have to back up here, but somehow she... Oh, the Skull Squisher. Wanted to have some fun. Aggroed on top of this, and now Nina has to run away tremendously. Scythe eats all the Shadow Flyers, so... That's going to be fine. Goes and gets healed right back up. Gets his energy back. And this needs to be prime. This creation chamber needs to be a prime. We're seeing Nina. She's got this creation chamber. Like, why? This should not be your prime structure, Nina. You should be building Argent straight into the fight. So now, Shadow Flyers. They're going to find these prisms. But again, these prophecies are doing so much work. But Snoxstar, his macro position is fantastic. That fight was very good for Nina to go and take down so much of the army. But again, macro position is in a really, really nice spot. He has 5 Hellborn. That is, what is that? Is that one shot? It's 250 damage. Yeah, it one-shots Argents, and one-shots a lot of things, so you have to be very careful there. And 500 damage of volley against structures means that these collection arrays go down. So Nina, I'm very surprised that she hasn't tried to take this base. It's pretty close to home. I guess it is maybe a little exposed to a siege, but very surprised. Oh, okay. So the other power of the Animancers is this cloak, this ghost ability, this smoke ability that maybe is going to enable a bit of an interesting fight. I don't know. Nina runs forward here. Most of her army is smoked. Most of her army looking for that ambush. Is she going to find what she wants? Eventually this time's out. Eventually the veil ends. And the entire army isn't smoked anyway, so I don't think this is going to find what Nina was really looking for. Not really, but she needs some way to get on top of the Hellborn. That is going to be the problem for now. Shroudstone is trying to turn into a Wraithstone. It will fall down. Bonus damage to heavy, and this entire army is pain. But Snoxstar, again, you got a lot of Shadow Flyers. These scythes in the sky are not untouchable. It really is all about these Animancers. If you can go and drop prophecies, you can get some Dark Prophecies going on top of the Shadow Flyers as they run in. You're very, very happy. You are able to go, and the Shadow Flyers, they disappear. Oh, Harenya is not, in fact, our title sponsor. They were for Stormgate Nexus. Thank you, Harenya, but I need to turn that rotator off. What are we looking at? Snoxstar, by the way, big Therium bank. Certainly not enough Animus to build a dragon. Did he get the dragon at some point? And I don't think he has, but big brute drop, Harbinger brute drop onto the other side here. They're just going to turn into a bunch of fiends. And this is a link node. It's not a strike node. That is a little bit awkward. I don't think there's that. Yeah, this is dead. Nina, not even a cancel. Now we're going to see Dark Prophecy going down. Again, it's a lot of fiends because I want to say the brutes have their... Let me click on these brutes. They don't have their upgrades. Okay, so it wasn't as strong as it once was, but it does force Nina out of position. And now these blast nodes that are so strong, these strike nodes that are so strong, well, Hellborn can knock them down. Hellborn do 100 damage to structures. It is plus 7 damage per second on the burn. It is a significant deal. So Nina has to be very careful in this one. Snoxstar does have the map. This late game macro is very scary. She's all stealthed up for now. Tries to dive on top. Purify drops and everything. That first, oh god, that first prophecy is not very good. And now big slow goes down, but it gets cursed off immediately by the Purify. So that Nightfall Invest doesn't do anything here. And it's all about the zoning, right? All about these zoning storms, all about these zoning black holes. But now Shadow Flyers on top of everything. But the invulnerability has been popped. A lot of these sides are still here. Brutes are going to try to get on top as well. But it looks like we're out of energy for the most part. It looks like these Dark Prophecies are going to go down. And the second part of this army is still here. Snoxstar spending his bank on everything on the Remax. He just continues to rally forward. This base will fall down at this point. Blast nodes are strong, but they're not that strong. And Nina's late game is just not finding what it needs here. This army is so big. He's done such a good job of taking every base on the map. He's got, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's onto his 6th base. Nina's only on 3.5. The macro game, the economic game that Snoxstar's been able to build in this game is so hard to deal with. Nina just doesn't have the money that she needs to properly handle this. And now massively power starved as well, minus 30. She's gonna get some of it back because, you know, some of that power starve was from casting some spells, was from casting some top bars, Yeah, some divine interventions, I think they're called. Oh, those storms are very good, but the Shadow Flyers connect anyways. And, you know, this army is fighting the Vision Camp. It's not fighting the army of Nina, and that is an opportunity maybe. But you need to say, I feel like you want Sabers here. When I see this army in the late game, I feel like Nina has over-indexed into things that are not Sabers. And granted, she doesn't have a lot of money, but Sabers do so good against these Hellborn, they just nuke them down. Bonus damage versus heavy, it's like 90 damage versus heavy. Per shot, there's splash damage. Hellborn kind of tend to sit in this line. I feel like adding in a couple Sabers would be very good. But that just doesn't seem to be Nina's her modus operandi. And certainly with all the Shadow Flyers on the map, I feel like at this point, again, get some Sabers, burst this. This army is incredibly fightable. Tremendously killable if you kill the Hellborn down. If you knock the Hellborn down, it is very, very manageable for Nina to deal with. But as it stands, very hard. So I guess the issue is kind of lack of money at the moment. Nina only had a lot of Loom Knight. Doesn't have this bottom right side base. Now she did go and she did take this siege camp once again, but no base here. No setup, and now Snockstar big surround getting set up once again. Pushing effigies forward. We have a Harbinger. Oh, he's gonna stun. It's gonna be for a stun. I want to say Seismic Slam. No, it's just for Shroud. Okay, it's just for Shroud. Doesn't seem to matter though. And Nina is gonna fall down as the dragon arrives. Snockstar, quick 3-0 up in this series. GG. How does he have vision? The Vision Camp. It gives you vision on the high ground. Anyways, 1 second. Let me go and fix this because Serenia is not the sponsor. We do love them, but Serenia is not the sponsor. Where is that? We're gonna have to run it. Actually, I'll fix this while we run ads. Anyways, friends, we have to run ads because I've been delaying them as much as I can. We're gonna get in the game for soon enough. See y'all very soon. At the thing. Well, again, you clear speed and health camps very quickly. On top of that, it means you actually have an answer to these Seraphim early on, which is really, really nice. It's I'm not sure who got that one, but now, yeah, you do have to run away with a Seraphim with that speed boost. But now getting on top of the Hexen, even still, it looks like, okay, Nina gets this, tries to snipe. There we go. Gets one of the vision creeps. Is gonna maybe get a second. Oh, God. Oh, he wasn't expecting that one. Oh, man. That's a lot of damage right there. All the white health goes down. Lots of damage in general. Second shot, Snockstar. Pay attention here, bud. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. This is now we're seeing the dodge, but the damage has been done. Absolutely, the damage has been done to the Gaunt. So every single Gaunt in this setup is just going to get taken down by all of these Seraphim, and no damage to the rocket launcher whatsoever. Okay, I said, Sabers. Sabers are pretty good. Answers, no Sabers. It's just going to be Scythes. Scythes, if you get them to critical mass, are very, very strong. They're hard to deal with. They can do up to plus 20 damage, 20 bonus damage. So this Seraphim has to just run. Will not run. Will not hide. Will not collect 200 Weavers if you want to go for those. Eventually, Weavers can be very, very good against a lot of ideas coming out of the Celestial player. Obviously not this game because it's Scythe Seraphim. That is not something that, I mean, Weavers just don't do anything. They don't shoot up. But problems that Nina's running into right now. And there's no way. I mean, yes, this is trying to turn into a blast node, but before the blast node's done, it doesn't have armor. It just doesn't survive. And there we go. Nina is hella dead in this game. Snockstar with the all-in timing gets everything he needs and more, and that's a game 2 victory for our Infernal player. Everything dies. And I think here, no, there's not enough energy. There's not enough for just a bunch of, sudden health bond resurgence to get a bunch of units out of these. Now, these 3 Hellborn, they represent a problem. They can target down these units that Nina has. They set up once again, pushing effigies forward. We have a Harbinger. Oh, he's gonna stun. It's gonna be for a stun. I want to say Seismic Slam. No, it's just for Shroud. Okay, it's just for Shroud. Doesn't seem to matter though. And Nina is gonna fall down as the dragon arrives. Snockstar quick 3-0 up in this series. So very quickly. On top of that, it means you actually have an answer to these Seraphim early on, which is really, really nice. It's, I'm not sure who got that one, but now, yeah, you do have to run away with a Seraphim with that speed boost. But now getting on top of the Hexen, even still, it looks like, okay, Nina gets this worked out for Nina here. Again, tries to snipe. There we go. Gets one of the vision creeps. Is gonna maybe get a second. Oh, God. Oh, he wasn't expecting that one. Oh, man. That's a lot of damage right there. All the white health goes down. Lots of damage in general. Second shot, Snockstar. Where? Pay attention here, bud. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. This is now we're seeing the dodge, but the damage has been done. Absolutely, the damage has been done to the Gaunt. So every single Gaunt in this setup is just going to get taken down by all of these Seraphim and no damage. Welcome back, friends. Rusty Shacky asking, are we getting Spooky Boneyard or what? I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get Spooky Boneyard. By the way, Albino, would you be down to just play a winner of this series, or maybe play Nina just so we can see some? If Nina agrees, maybe so we can see Cell versus Vanguard. I don't know. Something like that. Spooky Boneyard or we riot. Man, that was peak comedy. Elf versus Percival and Spooky Boneyard. Where Elf goes and tries to pull overcharged Bobs to go and take the natural, and just it doesn't work because they all spawn zombies. It was great. You love the streamer's beard extension. Yeah, chat, you want Spooky Boneyard? Donate. Okay, Secluded Grove, by the way, is going to be map number 4 of this series. We've had a couple games where Nina looks like she's going to make something happen, and then unfortunately Snockstar just overwhelms with just really, really good map control in the late game. Let's see what happens as we move on to map number 4. Upper right in the... Why are we doing this? Anyways, upper right in the blue, up 3-0. It's Snockstar. Bottom left in the red, down 3 games. It's Nina. Rusty Shacky saying that he'll put in 25 bucks for a Spooky Boney show match if that happens. It's a Spooky Bone zone, and I have asked. I have reached out to. I don't know if we're gonna get this, but I have reached out to Monk and I said, look, okay, I don't know how much of a lift this is. I don't know how this setup. I don't know how much of an issue it is to like copy and paste map settings. Ooh, that could be 2v2. Spooky could be fun. To copy and paste map settings onto other maps, but if there is a way to make Everett to just take the map settings of Spooky Boneyard and apply it to every single map, just have a Spooky copy of every single map in the pool, every single map, all 8 maps, because technically Jagged Maw exists. It's still there, it's just not in the ladder pool, but every single map, every single 1v1 map, you can apply that by Halloween. I will absolutely, and I think I can get sponsors for it, I will absolutely run a Spooky Halloween tournament. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. Monk said he would ask the engineer who made Spooky Boneyard to see how much of an issue that would be, how difficult that would be to do. But I will, if that can happen, heard it here, it's confirmed right now, I will run an event for it. And it will be gloriously spooky. And I'm going to have a lot of fun with that one. For now, though, we're into map 4 here. Snockstar again, up 3-1, going for a Conclave expand, as one does. I do think, again, I think Vault expands. I know why. It just feels better to have range units. We should try adding ladder maps that have mechanics like Spooky Boneyard with zombies. I don't know about that. I do think that at that point you're running... Man, they need to fix this. Shadow Demons are so bugged. They're supposed to do 20 damage a shot. They're doing 5. I mean, features, we had 200 people watching earlier, but then my stream didn't just die. The entire circuit that my computer was on died. So viewership's down a little bit, but you know, we have like 250 aggregate across YouTube and Twitch watching. I had like 2,000 CCV on YouTube plus another 100 on Twitch. 2,000 CCV on YouTube plus like another 100 on Twitch. No, 2,000 on YouTube plus another 100. 2,000 on Twitch plus 100 on YouTube for Stormgate Nexus Finals. There are people interested in this game, certainly. And, you know, we have a bunch of people watching. The doomerism is a thing. Is Nina going for a very, very significant proxy here. Okay, but I need to make a brute costume. Better yet, get Tastosis to cast the show match in a brute costume. I see where you're coming from, the French boy, but you know, realistically, ooh, this is interesting. So, excuse me, wow, there we go. Kree were buffed in the last patch. They now have a lot more HP. So this Nina's gonna go for this kind of Kree timing early on. It's a lot of map control. If Kree get on top of all these Gaunts, they are very, very scary. So Noxus is gonna have to give the map up for now. It takes his third base, cancels it. It's like, oh, wait a minute here. I see this. I see this problem. So he's gonna go and build a Strat Stone to try to go in and counter this aggression that's gonna happen. Is there gonna be replays? Yes, there will be. It's gonna be in my Discord, !Discord. There'll be a replay pack going up after this. And ideally, I'll be getting the replay from game 1 where my power died. So we'll be fine there. Trying to figure out exactly why the power is dying, because again, it's weird. The computer that I have is less wattage on the circuit than the computer I used to have on the circuit, and certainly less aggregate wattage on the circuit. So I don't know why that's happening. We actually removed power. This happened twice yesterday, and we actually removed power. We removed some of the power from the circuits. I really don't know what's up. As this Shroud Stone goes up and it goes down. Can't explain that one. So that counter pressure from Snockstar doesn't really do much of anything. Yeah, no, Rusty, I'm not gonna get as a French board, we're not gonna go and have Tastosis cast this. If I'm putting an event on, I'm casting it. This is for my growth, even as that fun as that would be. But now we're gonna see a lot of Gaunts just get exploded here. This build that Nina has gone for is a great solution to this idea of a well, actually right now, Shroud Stone Manifest makes life a little bit more difficult. And explosions! Ooh, you stat on that one a little bit too much. This build is actually very good against this this setup that we have coming out of Snockstar with the massive with the massive Gaunt setup. Again, just bonus damage versus light AoE. You dive on top of the Gaunts, it becomes very hard. Might be a short circuit within the computer PSU, maybe. But I've had this computer set up for like a week, and I've streamed on it before then, and that also wasn't an issue. So Magmadons now, Kree are not useful. Magmadon are out, Kree are not particularly useful anymore. So the question is, did Nina get enough with this? She did delay the third base significantly. She is giving herself a lot of map control. She's giving herself a lot of these creeps. She has her third base done before even, I mean, again, there's a 2-base Infernal player going, of course. Reaper's Rush. Plague Axe is already done. She killed off a lot of Gaunts. This is a reasonable setup for Nina. This is absolutely a reasonable setup for Nina. There's a runaway imp. You don't want any of this smoke. Is it best of 5? It is best of 7, right? And we can see right here, upper left, best of 7 rotating. This is also Secluded Grove. That is the map, as Fiends are going to go for this run by. So Nina looks like transitioning into a bunch of Argents behind this, which is very good against the Brutes. It's good against the Magmadon. You target them down. You can go, of course, get the upgrade. I forget actually what it's called. Long shot module. There we go. +3 range. You can go and get photocapacitors, which is the more useful one that goes up to 50 energy. So you just kind of go and poke and poke and poke. And it actually is really nice if you're a player that likes to go and kind of just poke in and out, and see what exactly you can find. Kind of take these non-committal fights that Nina has been very much in favor of. I was watching her stream the other day, and she was like, yeah, I don't understand why everyone's talking about this Argent change as if it's a nerf. I spend my energy, I kill some units, I back up, I do it again. It's great. It feels very, very good. But I think that's the difference between how Nina likes to play. Actually, if the Magmadon popped its trample here, would it do bonus damage to the Creation Chamber? Because this is bonus, trample is bonus damage to heavy. But, you know, it's a spell, so I don't know if spells apply. Kappa 101, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Really appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying what we got put together today. Again, the goal for this is to have this happen every Sunday. I'll put up a Matcherino. This was very last second, but I'll put up a Matcherino a couple days before. And then I'll probably put a poll in my Discord. No, maybe, I don't know. I'll ask you what you all want. They changed Trample a couple patches ago to not hit buildings. Thank you, msrm. I wasn't sure. Can anyone join in the future? So for right now, ideally it's gonna be high level players. If I can turn this into kind of a big brain bounce type of setup, that'd be really cool. But for right now, I'm especially as we're early in the patch, I want to see what top players are figuring out how the game gets played. Best of Rin Nankit, not best two. But that is because that's what a lot of traditional sports do. You know, it's a best of 3, it's a best of 5, it's a best of 7. I guess for my eye, the better question is why did, as we're gonna see again, you tank with the brute gaunts, they're gonna be fine, but yeah, you just don't want the gaunts to take that damage. The better question is why did things like Age of Empires, because I want to say Age of Empires does first 2 something, their first 2 nomenclature. What's also interesting, by the way, is that's an English versus another language thing. So I want to say, like if you have a best of 7 in Bulgarian or whatever language pack they use, or no, in Polish. I know in the Polish language pack, it's first 2-4, not best of 7. So it is very much an English language thing versus Polish versus whatever. I couldn't tell you exactly why. It's just how the language has evolved. Linguistics is fun. So Snoxter has survived against this aggression from Nina early on, right? He's on his 4 bases now over the last couple minutes. Nina's on 3, so she has fallen behind in that base count just a little bit. She's got Animancers and Argents and Kree, and this is still very much like a tier 1.5 army. We don't have Dark Prophecy. Yeah, in Bulgarian, we would say 4 out of 7. So would you say when you're talking about the format, would you say first to 4 or best of 7 in Bulgarian? I mean, not in English. I know in English it's best of 7. But I know, like, when you watch Indie Stream, for example, because I pulled that on, it's like OE7 or OE4 in a best of 7 in the overlay, something like that, because I don't speak Polish, but whatever that is, it's first to 4. Anyways, for now, camp's getting taken off. The powerful little cat. It's not an anime cat girl, but it is still a little cat. It's very cute, especially when it's on the ground, floating around the map, going and just claiming all camps. I gotta say, I'm a little surprised we don't see them used all that often to just hold vision as well. They're not that expensive, all things considered. You just put them in trees. They are cloaked if they're in trees. They can be very solid just to kind of have vision on the map. It requires Hexen or Weaver to go and see exactly what's happened. I mean, I think of like in MOBA esports, at least, and like Dota and League of Legends, in English they say best of 3, best of 5. I don't think they have best of 7s. I believe in Counter-Strike it's also it's a best of X. It's best of 3, best of 5. Although they don't really even do best of 5s all that often. I believe that is true. Anyways, tier 3 done for Snoxstar. Molten Touch on the way, and Elder Shrine done. Anything else getting researched? Anything interesting? Can I find any more tech structures? Do we have a Shadow Cleft anywhere? I don't see one. We have the Hellforge. We have the Ritual Chamber. I don't see a Shadow Cleft. Okay, so for now, no Shadow Cleft upgrades available. Certainly not. I do think, again, that I've talked about this a lot. I will continue to talk about it. I do think that getting a single Harbinger is very strong. By the way, in this matchup, I'm very surprised to see Nina not try to take the middle early on. This feels very hard, at least in my games. It feels very hard for Infernal players to properly deal with this. For now, though, oh, that is spicy. That is a lot of damage right there. So for now, actually really Power of the Purify as well. It takes off Molten Touch, so the damage over time doesn't really apply as long as you have Purified. You got a couple, you will have a couple charges of it. We say X out of wire would mix English words and speaking Bulgarian to say best of X. Okay, interesting. Yeah, they both work. I just think it's interesting that I'm engaging with the topic. Like, I don't know the answer, but together we can figure something out. And again, Nina, of course, a very good player, better player than I am, 100%. I gotta say, I am a little surprised to see her not playing with sabers. We do have Bly saying I expected to see a lot of sides, but we have 3. She is making. Where are our? Yeah, She is making more. We got 5 on the map, building them 3 at a time. If you can get to the scythe count to a point where that is significantly high, it's going to be, it's pretty dang strong. So for now, we got whatever. Let me click on this. Strike nodes, strike nodes, and blast nodes. So this is this is defended. Although I guess the blast node, there we go. Okay, yeah, this is absolutely defended here. This is not going to work out. This pressure, it does damage on the collection array, but you can surge that up, so it heals right back up. It's going to be fine. Gonna heal, but yeah, we're. Actually, wait, I'm sorry. That region is from when you're on green energy, and Nina's not on green energy at the moment, spending it elsewhere. So eventually, this collection array is going to heal right back up. Eventually, things are going to be fine as Nina takes the upper left base. Snockstar getting the bottom right as we go truly into the late game. But the problem is, Snockstar's got the center base. This is effectively 2 bases in 1, maybe even more than that, because not every base has Therium on it. This means that Snockstar is going to max out faster. Which is rare. We don't see a lot of maxed out games, but this means that Snockstar is going to max out faster. This means that he has a just better army. This means that he's going to mine so much more over the course of this game. So Nina's going to have to start to take some incredibly cost-effective fights. Her army now not where it needs to be to defend this base. This base is just going to go down. We do, of course, have Sovereign's Watch. The upgrade's not there, so it's not doing maximum damage, but it is something. And Nina will lose this base. But her goal right now, ideally, look at that. Okay, they're all smoked. And that's going to be an immediately dead Magmadon. Nina is going to lose base. She's going to lose the north side base as well. Yes, there are going to be some blast nodes, some strike nodes getting some damage done here. But she's going to go try to trade for a whole hell of a lot more here. Taking the middle of the map. Yes, it is 2 for 2, but I would argue that this is probably more impactful, especially as, well, I'm trying to mine from this base. That's not really going to matter. But if she can hold the middle, her area denial is so strong in this setup. She's going to knock this down. And then, again, these prophecies, they zone out tremendously well. But she didn't get enough here. She didn't take down all the Shroud. Dark Prophecies around the corner, though. That's absolutely what you want. And just zoning, buying time. You really need, though, these sides have to get on top of this army. They have to get on top of the Hellborn, or Nina gets melted. That is always going to be the story. The Purify is not where it needs to be. Nina kiting away through it, running her way through it. Prophecies on the Gaunts. They're melting them down. More Purify still here, so it's not like there's any Infest available. But this Concave out of Snockstar is still very good. Even still, no Gaunts, no anti-air anymore. Now the size, they get to start to play. And this is 3,000 Therium in this army right now that Nina's now going to try to clean up, get on top before the anti-air starts to arrive. There's a dragon here as well, but that is half the Hellborn army down. Nina lost a lot of supply. Only back down to 3 bases. She's going and stealing money from this Luminite mine out from the face of things. And because she didn't totally take the position, because she didn't 100% take the position. Yeah, Nina, she says she's dead. That's it. Snockstar is going to take the series 4 games to 0. Dragon pops out. And unfortunately, Nina almost made it happen. But man, giving Snockstar this base for so long. Oh, man. So not worth doing. But anyways, if you like this, you want more of this, you want more Stormgate Sundays every Sunday, hopefully, as I can make things happen, go follow the channel on Twitch, twitch.tv/BeoMulf. Go sub to my channel on YouTube, and go and join my Discord, where you'll find out what the next matchups are going to be. The match arena is going to be up in advance if you want to go and help fund this a little bit more. And if you want to go donate to me, sub to me, that helps out. That just helps justify things that much more. But thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time. Yeah, giving Snockstar, giving someone the middle base like that feels very, very hard. Yeah, so Bly, here's my question. Brute Hellborn gone. Shadow Blizzard. So Bly, here's my question. As we talk about this, when I run into that issue, I see a lot of Celestial players, and they go and they just take the center map very, very quickly. We're talking like 4 collection array before any units, but they just drop a bunch of strike nodes, and it feels very hard to break. Is there some new tech? Is there something that means that this is not happening anymore? Is there some reason why, like, why is that not the play? Because eventually, you know, as we can see, eventually late, if you take the middle, it looks very hard for Celestials. But that early game that early game setup where you just kind of power off that very quickly, it feels very hard to break, and also feels, again, very hard to do anything realistic with. So that's my question. New folder, big files. This is Nina Snockstar 2 to 4. You get crash. Wait, so like there's the Gaunt Brood into the main base is what you're talking about? Oh, hey, someone made the they made a Liquipedia, so there is a bracket thing now. All right, so we're gonna do one more best of 7. Look at that. We're gonna go to break because it just get caught up on ads. But we're gonna have Nina versus Albino. We're gonna take a look at the Celestial Vanguard matchup. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So Nina versus Albino coming up after the break. See you all then. At the thing. Well, again, you clear speed and health camps very quickly. On top of that, it means you actually have an answer to these Seraphim early on, which is really, really nice. It's oh, I'm not sure who got that one, but now, yeah, you do have to run away with the Seraphim with that speed boost. But no, getting on top of the Hexen, even still, it looks like, okay, Nina gets this, tries to snipe. There we go. Gets one of the vision creeps. Is gonna maybe get a second. Oh, God. Oh, he wasn't expecting that one. Oh, man. That's a lot of damage right there. All the white health goes down. Lots of damage in general. Second shot, Snockstar. Where? Pay attention here, bud. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. This is now we're seeing the dodge, but the damage has been done. Absolutely, the damage has been done to the Gaunt. So every single Gaunt in this setup is just going to get taken down by all of these Seraphim, and no damage to the rocket launcher whatsoever. Okay, I said, sabers. Sabers are pretty good. Answers, no sabers. It's just gonna be scythes. Scythes, if you get them to critical mass, are very, very strong. They're hard to deal with. They can do up to plus 20 damage, 20 bonus damage. This Seraphim has to just run. Will not run. Will not hide. Will not collect 200 Weavers if you want to go for those. Eventually, Weavers can be very, very good against a lot of ideas coming out of the Celestial player. Obviously not this game because it's Scythe Seraphim. That is not something that, I mean, Weavers just don't do anything. They don't shoot up. But problems that Nina's running into right now. And there's no way. I mean, yes, this is trying to turn into a blast node, but before the blast node's done, it doesn't have armor. It just doesn't survive. And there we go. Nina is hella dead in this game. Snockstar with the all-in timing. Gets everything he needs and more, and that's a game 2 victory for our Infernal player. Everything dies. And I think here, no, there's not enough energy. There's not enough for just a bunch of, you know, sudden health spawn resurgence to get a bunch of units out of these. Now, these 3 Hellborn, they represent a problem. They can target down these units that Nina has. They set up once again, pushing effigies forward. We have a Harbinger. Oh, he's gonna stun. It's gonna be for a stun. I want to say Seismic Slam. No, it's just for Shroud. Okay, it's just for Shroud. Doesn't seem to matter though. And Nina is gonna fall down as the Dragon arrives. Snockstar, quick 3-0 up in this series. He used to have on the circuit, and certainly less aggregate wattage on the circuit. So I don't know why that's happening. We actually removed power. I had this happen twice yesterday, and we actually removed power. We removed some of the power from the circuits. I really don't know what's up. As this Shroud Stone goes up and it goes down. Can't explain that one. So that kind of catching it. This is for my growth, even as that fun as that would be. But now we're gonna see a lot of Gaunts just get exploded here. This build that Nina has gone for is a great solution to this idea of a well, actually right now, Shroud Stone Manifest makes life a little bit more difficult. And explosions! Oh, ooh, you stat on that one also very quickly. On top of that, it means you actually have an answer to these Seraphim early on, which is really, really nice. It's I'm not sure who got that one, but now, yeah, you do have to run away with a Seraphim with that speed boost. But no, getting on top of the Hexen, even still. Welcome back, everyone. It's gonna be Nina Albino. We take a look at how Infernal and Celestial now works in the patch. I don't know. I legitimately know nothing about this one. There hasn't been a lot to see. So I'm excited to find things out. Furious Resolve. Hello, Meow indeed. We're going to start with Furious Resolve once again. And by the way, if you want to go and make sure these players that are playing these games, that are giving us some fun stuff to look at, if you want to make sure that they make more money, I don't know how much I'm going to chip in just yet, but I'm going to chip something into the prize pool too. But if you want to make sure that they make more money, exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat. You can go and donate to that one. I would much prefer. Okay, first of all, caveat here, it is September, so if you go, you sub, I think you get some extra stuff on top of, you get some extra rewards, but also it's cheaper. And if you buy multiple months, it's cheaper. If you buy gift subs, it's also cheaper. I'm just saying. But in the balance of things between the two, if you have $5 burning a hole in your pocket, I would much rather you go and put $5 towards the prize pool over $5 subscribing to me. Just saying. Because I do want to make sure that, because I do appreciate having these players, I want to be able to keep running these. And, you know, realistically, I don't make enough money from Twitch to make everything to fund this, to fund like a couple $100 a week or whatever it is, every week. So I do have to rely on community donations a little bit. I mean, just again, for transparency, I didn't make any money off of Stormgate Nexus. In fact, I lost money on Stormgate Nexus because all the money I made from Twitch and YouTube went towards paying Killer Pigeon and Nathanius and everyone else that worked on the event. Lidicor and Rushy and Storm Warrior. Everyone else that worked on the event. So, but, you know, for disclosure, the most money I've ever made in a month on Twitch was $625, was what Twitch paid me last month when we got the sub count up fairly high. If I could do that consistently, then yeah, absolutely. I could put a lot of that money to the prize pool. That'd be sick. But as it stands, you know, that's kind of what it would take. Staying at this sub number or higher is roughly what it would take to be able to kind of fund $100 for a prize pool every Sunday. So anyways, that's disclosure. How do I eat? I'm also a PhD student, Transistor Highway. So this is a side gig. This is a hobby. And I try to invest as much as I can into doing this stuff as well. But this is not my main thing. I'm not a full-time streamer. If you want to hear about my research, now this video is very old by now. The video is very, very old right now. But if you want to see more about my research, go check my exclamation mark research. We'll tell you kind of the bones about what I'm working on. Waiting on Nina to get ready, and then we're going to go into this next series. This is going to be literally. All right, we're going to get into that very quickly. Albino v Nina coming up next for our first look at CVV. All right, so game is loaded in though, and we're gonna get into game one. Furious Resolve once again. So here we are in the upper right on Furious Resolve on the new map in the red. She is Nina playing Celestials, and the bottom left in the blue, it's Albino. Hello, Albino. Everyone, chat, say hi, Albino. And I legitimately know nothing. I know nothing about this matchup right now. There have been a lot of changes. Last patch was just scouts. Turtles all the way down. Mass scouts all over the place. I don't think that's true anymore. I know I've seen some people complain about it in the Discord, but I struggle to see a world where scouts are that imba in this game, in any matchup, considering how much they've been nerfed. So I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go. For now though, Nina go expanding vertically because this gives her the speed camp early on, and she doesn't technically know where her opponent is, but She sees where everything is coming from, so this kind of gives her a rough idea here. So for now, we're going to see the speed camps go down. Sovereign's Watch plus this Morph Court. Nox! Oh! Yep. Got it. Now we're going to see a Creation Chamber right in there. But because, well, it just means the speed camp belongs to the Inferno player. Or it belongs to, excuse me, belongs to the Vanguard player right now. And what do we have behind this? I don't know much of anything. Now, there should be, there's not enough power to drop another Sovereign's Watch at the moment, -1. So this Scout and this Lancer are going to be very annoying. This power bank's now up, and there is power, and there's the Sovereign's Watch. So the Lancer has to run away, and now Argent's going to get made. I mean, this is a very close spawns, though, and with the speed camp right here, 1 Argent versus 2 Lancers and a Scout with speed feels really hard. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to deal with this just yet, but again, Nina, this is Nina's build. She's going to teach us something. I'm assuming she's going to teach us something, and there's Starforge on the way, builds very quickly. And there's a Link node turning into a Strike node. So a Blast node's very good because against Infernals, because, well, they have a lot of HP. That is, or because there's not a lot of HP on Gaunts, right? They just evaporate Gaunts, they evaporate Fiends. But you want a Strike node because it's just a little bit different in this setup. So now chasing this Lancer away, but not enough energy for the moment. So Nina is not going to get the kill on there. I'm surprised she doesn't just go near the power bank and get this energy back. But there we go. Second power bank. Gonna ideally not go down, but now with the Vector out, I have lived through an era of Vectors, and it was very, very sad. But for now, the Scout's gonna fall down. Blinks on top, tries to body block on top of this. Remember, Vectors are light units. Lancers have bonus damage versus light, but even still, this Vector will look to chase this down. Blink's gonna be coming off cooldown reasonably soon. Delta jump, it's Blink. Gonna come off on cooldown very soon, but now the health food is there, so that's that. Just trying to chase this Lancer into a corner. This Lancer, though, I think this was the first one from earlier, has come back to put a little bit more pressure on, and what is gonna get made? So it's just about these Vectors early on. Seems to be that's the case. And Nina, is she teching up? Not at the moment, just building more prisms, and I guess this Lancer's gonna be able to get out because Nina wants to bring her army together. How is this new map, by the way? I think it's pretty good. Funnily enough, this game plays a lot like StarCraft. So turns out that because the game plays like a StarCraft, closer to a StarCraft or a Brood War than it does like a Warcraft, in my opinion. Who would have known that maps that are good in StarCraft are good in are good in Stormgate as well? They've done a lot of work to. I do appreciate in these earlier tests that they're messing around with a bunch of interesting ideas that definitely didn't work in StarCraft but may work in other RTS games, and it's like, okay, let's try. If it works out, if it doesn't work out, we'll find. M Haxim saying, oh, hey guys, is this game a good game for a beginner wanting to learn an RTS? I would say yes. I think so. First of all, you're not running into 14 years. You're not running into 14 years of accumulated meta that you have to learn. You have to learn about the game, certainly. You know, that's true of any game. But you're not running into 14 years of combined meta, where it's just like, oh, God, I don't know about this build. I don't know the counter. It feels really rough. We're all learning together. Every new patch shakes the game up so very much. On top of that, as people are saying in chat, there are global hotkeys. So you go and there's a quick macro panel, so you don't have to go and the hotkey load is maybe not quite as strong. There's still a lot of complexity, still certainly a lot of power available, but again, not quite as obnoxious, or not quite as difficult to kind of be able to baseline play the game that you want to play. So for now, a lot of Lancers here are going to show up, and Double Sovereign's Watch says absolutely not. Now they're going to run into Speed Zone, and these Vectors have to be very, very careful. So the idea here is, I guess you kind of wait. Now Vectors do bonus damage versus light, not versus heavy, and with Speed Zones and Kinetic Redirect, these Lancers are so fast that it doesn't really work out. But now, okay, well, they're on the map, which means Nina unlocked onto the other side. Says, okay, well, this is going to be eventually a dead Lancer. Eventually a dead Lancer, I say, but gets mass promoted up to tier 3, so it doesn't die very quickly whatsoever. And now we're going to see a turret go up. Sentry post is going to start to be a thing, but hey, it takes a while. And that means that a couple of these scouts are going to go down. Meanwhile, Lancers in the main base, they may force this collection of Ray to raise on up. But for now, this damage, Nina's getting substantive damage. She is getting reasonable damage here. Now, well, maybe going to blink on the low ground. So again, my question is, what's the follow-up? She does force this collection array is forced to lift, which means Nina is effectively mining one base area, and she's just building, okay, Vector into Scythe is the name of the game. We sure we're not watching versus Infernals? Yeah, okay, it is a little bit different. But Nina again blinks down, takes the health camps, gonna heal these right back up, and now that speed camp, well, that was taken for a little bit. Now it's gonna go down. So these Lancers are gonna show up here. More and more scythes are gonna start to arrive, and they do bonus damage to heavy. So even as these Lancers are tanky boys, absolutely. And they're gonna try to knock down some of these power banks. Sovereign's Watch is there, and eventually these scythes will force everything back. Argent as well again. Everything here does a reasonable amount of damage to these Lancers, so they're fast. They do have kinetic redirect, but they're gonna get forced right back home. And Nina, again, losing these power banks, not super happy about it. Ooh, these. Okay, Exo's gonna fall. These, man, these Spectres, they went committed very far forward. So they're taking 50% more damage on the blink. As long as that purple aura is around them, they just take so much damage. But they do get the Exos down, and these two Lancers will fall more sized on the way. Maybe we can say the time of the Vectors is done for the time being. We're now at like 6 scythes, and, well, scythes are technically light units, so it's not like Exos do a bunch of bonus damage against them. Now, I don't know how quickly you kill a flat cannon. It is a heavy, so bonus damage versus heavy is there. We don't have the upgrade, though, on the scythes, and not just get what's called Retaliation Matrix, which gives you plus 20 damage for, or 10 stacks of plus 20 damage. Now, bye-bye. Well, yeah, there we go. Hornets are technically very good against this, right? Bonus damage versus, not as good as they used to be, but bonus damage versus light scythes are light units, absolutely. But you need to have them in enough numbers. But yeah, I think we're done. Yeah, this is going to be the final best of 7 of the night. In fact, I didn't have plans to do this, but people said, hey, we're willing to do it. And I said, great. Sure. Let's add a third one in. Add a little bit more fun to the day. And by the way, again, if you want to go and contribute to this tournament, if you want to be able to add to the prize pool a little bit more so I can play these players just a little bit more, exclamation mark Maturino in chat. Gonna help you out quite a bit. Albino 4-0 in the MSRM in the first best of 5. Then we saw Snockstar 4-0 Nina in the second best of 5. And now we're in, or best of 7, excuse me. And now we're into our third one. So this is interesting, right? So if you take a look at a Vector, the Vectors are rather solid anti-air. They do, where'd they go? 12 damage versus light units. Hornets are, in fact, light units. They don't have a ton of HP. 210, but, again, scythes fire, or excuse me, Vectors fire multiple shots. They actually, they can handle the Hornets very well. Hornets handled the scythes very well. And we're not seeing any Cabals is the other thing that I'm kind of thinking about here. The other thing to consider, they were very good last patch. Broken in last patch. They played this 40-second slow. It was kind of insane. But in this game, well, in this patch, the slow only lasts half as long. It's not quite as, it's only a 30% slow instead of a 50% slow. So they're not quite as strong. And Nina just doesn't seem to want to commit for them. I guess doesn't think they're very good right now. I don't know. There's a lot of things I'm learning. But now Retaliation Matrix is on the way, which is when scythes get really strong. The way that works, as we can mouse over it, actually see what it does. So for up to 10 stacks, when Pulse Shield, so when the unit takes damage and has some energy, what's it called? I forget how much it requires. But when you have the energy available and when you have, when you take damage, Pulse Matrix gets turned on. That means that there are 10 seconds where you take very little damage. You take very little damage. In those 10 seconds, the 10 if you take up to 10. By the way, man, these Hornets, even though their bonus damage versus light has been heavily nerfed. Hornet, there we go, knocks one down. Even though the bonus damage to light has been nerfed, still goes in and snipes these prisms. But anyway, every individual piece of damage you take up to 10 means that the sides do plus 10 damage, plus 2 damage. So plus 20 damage every bit of damage they take resets the stack, and they start to chunk in a significant way. Now, this is a little bit dicey trying to get on top. Purify is right there. There's enough energy to make sure that there's constant Retaliation Matrix, constant Pulse Shield. And a lot of these Hornets will continue to fall down. And now Nina took the middle. I didn't even realize. This V5 rocket launcher trying to go and take this medtech down. A third shot. Well, the healing is there, so. Medtech, bye-bye. That's going to be valuable. Now sides dive in once again. And this bonus damage to heavy means, yes, those turrets, they die very quickly. Tries to dive on top. Once again, Bubble Shield's going to be there. But again, we're going to see this Purify. It's stealing all the energy from the... God, I wish as an Infernal player I had this. It steals all the energy from the med tech, so they don't really heal. Gets on top of all these Hornets as well. And with that plus 20 bonus damage, that's not bonus damage versus heavy. That's just versus everything. And Nina has found her opening. She's found her timing. I feel like an aggressive Nanoswarm might have been useful there, but there's no energy. No energy available whatsoever. And it's all dead. All in the ground. Nina, you know, got brutalized by Snogstar just a little bit, but there is not enough anti-air anymore. Everything is dead. And this close by air position that Nina is able to take advantage of. Sides, they spawn, they run through the speed zone, run across the map. Immediate death, immediate disaster. And Albino in game 1 is gonna fall down. There we go. Nina, first map on the board. Nina's in the kitchen. Another match on the board. And of course, this is loser's pick. MSRM, so... MSRM, talk to me a little bit here as well. We're saying, you know, I have things to try. I think, personally, I think Seismic Slam is worth getting. And I think actually, I was watching your games. It's like, man, if you had like 8 flaming imps, Seismic Slam is a 2-second stun. It takes 1 second to turn the imps on. If you're able to combo that, I think you blow up the bio army. It's not the easiest thing to pull off, but I think that might be a solution to the kind of these late game bio balls. I don't know. You know, again, Harbingers are heavy units, so if the Exos target them down, that's good. But if you can go and just take the fight, and then when the Exos are already fighting other things, then you slam down on top from a kind of a flank angle, that might be viable. I don't know. Nina loses to Snogstar and then immediately goes into the this Discord I'm in. It's like, I think Infernal might be okay versus Celestials. Like, it's not, especially if you open Spriggans, it's not that expensive, right? Because you already have the I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, we're gonna get into game 2. And let's go. So now we're gonna move into game number 2 of this series. Nina opens. What'd she do? She opened vectors effectively. Argent into vector. Took advantage of the speed camp on vertical spawn. Built a lot of scythes, and Albino was not able to handle it. It was a reasonably back and forth game, but eventually you get that upgrade on the scythes. You get retaliation matrix, and then things just die. But it's also interesting. I'm seeing people in the chat, they're talking about Infernal Vanguard and the MSRM series. Yes, MSRM, the Harbinger upgrade is tier 2. Harbinger upgrade. So we're talking about, for those of you watching this on YouTube, about the viability of getting Seismic Slam, which is something you get out of the I totally blank on the name of the building at the moment. The Shadow Cleft. You get them on the Shadow Cleft. It's a long upgrade. It takes a little bit of time, but it's not that expensive, and you can get it at tier 2, and when you drop down, it massively increases the shroud that a Harbinger has, and also stuns everything around it for 2 seconds. So we're talking about kind of as a solution late game to these big bio balls of Vanguard, maybe against a bunch of like a more ground focused Celestial player as well, where you just kind of drop on top of them. And especially if you go and you have like a couple flaming imps, flaming imps turn on for 1 second. It's a 2-second stun. Seems really strong. But anyways, for now, Nina has opened up vectors once again on the low ground. Again, just to creep the speed camp out. You bonus damage versus light, firing 3 shots. 12 damage times 3 is 36 damage. That works out fairly nicely. And what do we have, though, on the other side? Just Lancers. Okay. We'll see. Also seeing people talk about late game avatars being really solid. They're expensive, but they're saying, you know, or late game Archangels, the new avatar is like actually kind of nutty. I don't know. Again, I haven't seen a single Archangel made in my games, but I'll buy it. You know, I'm willing. That's what's so cool, right? Especially with how the game is changing so quickly. 0.1.0 is a very different meta from 0.0.0, but certainly, but also 0.1 and 0.2 as we have those balance changes. I mean, this game, it's changed a ton. And, you know, I think maybe for like the 4 to 6 minute window is a little slow, but not that bad. And now, I mean, we're seeing plenty of interaction here. We're going to see, yeah, it just has to give has to give the health camp up for now. They got like, Nina got like half the money from it. And now, well, these Lancers have a decent amount of minus armor. They're at minus 25 armor, minus 50 armor, which means that even if they're not light units, these Vectors should be able to kite them out. But now they're going to heal up, so probably not worth doing. For now, though, one base from our Celestial player. I'm just building Vectors. Just building Vectors. By the way, so I know there's been a lot of complaints about performance. I got a 7800 X3D because, again, I got this crazy deal on this desktop. I got a 7800 X3D, and we moved my old computer over to like a production PC because we're going to be running some kind of really cool production stuff with my girlfriend once things get set up, with my partner once things get set up a little bit more. But anyway, having a 7800 X3D on Stormgate is just, oh, it's so good. There's like no lag. It's great. As we again see kiting away, Nina just dodges right versus left, and again you're trying to kite out against all these Lancers. The damage is not really there, but you know, maybe eventually they heal it back up half an HP per second, anyways. And you just promote the ones at the front, so they get a giga heal. It's significant. And by the way, kinetic redirect is actually done now. So Nina, though, tries to take advantage of the slime camps. This is when you want to take the fight, by the way. Minus 25 armor, something like that. What are we looking at? Minus 50 armor here as they continue to go down. Minus 75 armor, maybe? Yeah, minus 75 armor. That is a lot of effective HP loss. But Nina has to jump on top of it and see that this is an opportunity. And we can see how much damage. There we go. Blinks on top. Kills off the Lancer. Kills off the important Lancer, right? The high. Oh, she got the upgrade. Okay. It's been fixed. I was looking. I'm like, wait a minute. What just happened? Did I roll back? No. She's got recall potential. So that means that you have additional movement speed. Certainly, we can see that be very quick. And you can recall after delta jumping, which means that you blink forward, and then whatever damage you take, roll back to the HP you had before you blinked. I do think it's really interesting, people talking about performance as well, because I know some people have been saying, wow, game's a lot laggier. And some people are saying, wow, no, the game's actually performs a lot better. And then other people are like, well, the game performs the exact same. So it's interesting how hardware dependent it is, especially when like you talk to people who have very similar setups and very different experiences with how everything goes. So again, I think that's kind of surprising. But anyways, Lancers are trying to put pressure on all these Vectors, but they're not going to get them, and Scythes are on the map now as well. So that's, there's the bug. That's pretty fun. We see oh god, that was a dead Hornet. I do think it's also kind of like the weird thing for me is I lose like 40 frames on if I go to DX12 versus DX11. And I have a 4070 Super, which is weird. Like DX12 is supposed to be better on high-end cards, but there's like 0 FPS differential between low and between ultra. I mean, it's kind of wild. But anyways, these Lancers are going to try to put baby into a corner here. They're going to try to get on top of these sides and just put them away. Again, sides, they are light units. Lancers do bonus damage to light. They do bonus, or the Lancers do bonus damage to light. Vectors do not do bonus, don't do bonus damage to heavy, but just look at them kite around here. The damage is not there. Nina just playing with her food at this point, and you know, giving Nina a blink, not only just a blink, but a blink that you can go and just reset your HP. That feels a little nutty. So we'll see. For now, though, Natural's done, and Albino has done a very nice job. Albino has done a very, very nice job in keeping Nina back away, because this build that she's gone for is supposed to be pressure focused. These these Vectors are supposed to be able to get on top of these worker lines, get a lot of damage done, you know, poke away, have map control, do all those things. Dude 215P saying the game is extremely CPU limited because they're running it on one core. Apparently, they're actually running it on 2 cores, so it is better than StarCraft. The Unreal stuff is being run on 1 core, and the Snowplay, like the RTS engine, is being run on a 2nd core. So there is that as we see Purify go down. Oh, wait, yeah, that's actually super cool. So Purify goes down, and that removes the overcharge. So that means these scouts are, or these, excuse me, these bobs are just, they get evaporated. And this is a lot of damage, and Albino may just be dead again. I don't really know. We have a retaliation matrix, not just yet, but this is strong. This is very, very good here. Something, it's like, notionally you know that's true, but I always forget that Purify is a buff remover as well, not just an energy thing. But arguably the most powerful idea, part of most powerful component of this idea is that it's able to remove debuffs on you and remove buffs from your opponent, so that overcharge just disappears. Actually really solid. So Nina, oh yeah, that's a mistake. Nina, what you do? Nina, what you do? Okay, well, blinks on top of a bunch of Lancers, loses a lot of these vectors right as the cooldown ended. I think she thought that she was good to go and instead just blinked right back home and just lost a lot of those vectors. That's not great. Yeah, it's very hard to apparently to multi-process RTS simulation, to be able to put I guess maybe theoretically it might be a little easier with rollback, but deterministic systems on multiple cores, right? Because you're running it in parallel, right? Just like makes life just a little bit more difficult. So for now, Hornets are going to show up and they're dead. There's that, and now these Lances are untouchable, and Retaliation Matrix is a thing. So 4 damage here. Now, granted, actually, downside to killing off all the Hornets is you don't get Retaliation Matrix anymore. So the sides do damage, but not as much as they could possibly do damage. And, you know, there is that. There is that problem. But I think Albino's in a pretty rough spot. I don't know. It does not auto recall. That was there were a lot of bugs with it previously. I think chat's saying this. There were bugs with it on the previous like 0.1.0 or 0.0.x, but it has been fixed. So yeah, should work fine now. Yeah, but I think more what happened is Nina didn't realize the recall window was up, so like I didn't mean to do that one. That's not great. And that gives Albino a new lease on life. Really, that's losing that many vectors. I felt like Nina was about to win the game. Can 40 Hornets beat 20 sides? 10 Hornets can beat 20 sides, most likely. Bonus now, if there's a bunch of vectors on the ground, that calculus is a little bit different. But yeah, if we're just talking about Hornets versus sides, Hornets are very good versus sides. Not as good as they used to be, but I mean, look at this fight. Look at this fight right here. They're going boom, boom, boom. Well, Retaliation Matrix. Retaliation Matrix. Before Retaliation Matrix, what I said was true. Maybe afterwards, maybe it's not. Maybe that's not true. He's on double hangar bay now. And man, we're missing here. The repair-matic needs to be between these two hangar bays, because the Hornets are just locked to the hangar bay until it gets repaired back up. But you can go and the repair-matic actually goes to make things work a little bit easier. So repair-matics in these mineral lines, in these luminite lines would actually would be so good. And this bullying that Nina's doing right now would not be possible. As it stands, there's no repair-matic, there's no anti-air turret, and that just means these sides can go to town, and they're just able to continually bully Albino. Meanwhile, Nina is just building more stuff. Now, veterancy on Hornets is nice, and the sides are starting to fall down. There are more. That's the problem. There are more here, and 6 sides versus 3 Hornets without any repair beneath with Retaliation Matrix is just not enough. Not anymore. And I think at this point, Albino, the game was closer. Certainly it was, but I think Albino, I mean, it's not a strike node just yet, so this will fall down. But I think Albino is in a really rough spot. He's only on 2 bases. Sovereign's Watch is a thing, and we don't have a tier 3 upgrade, so these Lancers will just die. They're going to try to get the second arc ship, but they will not get that. And more dead Lancers, more Sovereign's Watches, more dead Lancers once again. At this point, the game does feel kind of over. Yeah, I do think you put a, I mean, now there's a sentry post. You just put a Bob in the sentry post and the Hornets all live and you're fine. Yeah, but this time Albino is dead. Didn't quite have the solution, and Nina up 2-0. Lances are very good against the ground units. And more importantly, they are Luminite only. More importantly, they are Luminite only. Nina can by mistake black hole her entire... Yes, this is true, Lukesh. Nina could in fact black hole her entire army. I don't think that's... I don't think that's likely. I don't really think that's likely, but hey, you know, more power to you. Yeah, I remember, so it's very easy as observers that can see the entire map to go say, hey, why didn't they do this thing? Why didn't they do this thing? Thank you, dude. 215p. Again, I'm not super happy with the, I think I did it. I think I was surprised with how well I did as stage host. I've literally never done that before. Literally never done that before, but I was pretty happy with how I did on stage. I wasn't super happy with how I did on the cast. I was just talking too fast. I was too excited. You know, caffeine was too strong. But we get better, we improve, and now we improve our way into game 3. So now it's game number 3 here of this setup. And Nina's up to the one base vector into scythe that Albino is very upset by. Seems to be working an absolute treat. I think there are things you can do. I think you put a sentry post in each mineral line, each luminite line, excuse me. I think you do that. That can work out very nicely. As he actually overcharges the bobs to just mine a little. Yes, you build the barracks faster, but also you just mine a little bit faster. You don't mine, sorry, you don't mine faster. The luminite mine is, you know, mining. But you go the time that goes between here to here, between the base and back and forth, it does speed your mining up just a little bit. So for now, it's going to be one base Lancer, I assume, once again. Starforge on the map. Proxy vectors here. We know the story. We've seen the story that Nina's been telling us for quite a while now. We know what's up. One base vector into scythe seems very difficult for Vanguard players to handle at the moment. But again, I think there are things that Albino could have done if he had, when he went double hangar bay, which is I think what you do eventually once you're on 2 bases. If he had gone and put a repair-o-matic between the 2 hangars, so when you return to hangar, everything gets healed up very quickly. I think that is very, very good. If he had gone and put a hangar bay, and actually with hangar bays were like effectively here and here, but it's right here, so it's in the luminite patch as well, and then puts one in the natural, which is kind of the more exposed position. That means the Hornets don't die. They get repaired, and that bullying that Nina was able to do is not great. But okay, so he's going to try Exos. Exos are light units. They get bullied by the Vector, and this one base Exo idea, I don't know how I feel about it. That doesn't feel very good to me. That doesn't feel very good to me at all. I don't know exactly what the idea here is, but he's got something. He's trying something, and I'm so happy that for most of the series we played today, most of the games we've played today, it's been, because they've all been 4-0s, it's been the same players doing the same builds, 4 games in a row, minor differences, but the same idea. 4 games in a row. And it's like, well, okay, this isn't working. This is still not working. This is still not working. So we'll see. I don't know. I do think, of course, that I'm very happy to see different ideas go on up. So Ascension Matrix on the way. We will eventually, of course, get our way into scythes, which, you know, gets pretty strong. And scythes against Exos are not as good, right? Exos bonus damage versus heavy. Scythes are light units. Remember, Philip, scythes are light units. I keep thinking they're heavy. I don't know why. But more importantly, they are not heavy units, so they can go and they don't take bonus damage from the sides. You get a bunch of them up, and they can have some fun. So exos are getting made. Nina, Albino being very careful with this. He's got himself 2 exos. Gonna throw it on the way. Flat cannon. Now he's gonna go just overcharge, expand into the natural very, very quickly, and go from there. Next patch, they're going to raise XO HP. Please, no, I can't kill him anyways. Please don't kill the XO HP. I can't kill him anyways. If Scythe is close to the Hornet, it wins 1v1. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's weird, right? So I want to say, like, 3 Hornets beat 3 Scythes. Well, I know that was true last patch. I actually don't know if that's true this patch. But anyway, look at this. So this is the adaptation from Albino. Sentry Post in the Luminite line. This flat cannon is a little bit less efficiently placed, but Sentry Post in the Luminite line. Second barracks on the way. He's just giving the map. He's like, look, I am going for this timing. And Nina's doing something totally different too. She's got a saber here, right? Sabers, they do so much. I mean, again, Exos are not heavy, but they do 60 damage and 30 damage in the splash kind of, if the shot hits here, like in that direction, so perpendicular to the initial shot. And as Exos ball up, that's pretty dang strong. So this Nina is just, I love this. This is taking the idea, doing something just a little bit different. Now, it is a single scythe. Excuse me, it is a single saber. So this is not, well, I guess we're at 2 of them now. So this is 120 damage. Exos have 130 HP. So it's not one-shotting, but it is going to 2-shot him. And with the splash damage, it's going to maybe do just a little bit more. Actually, you had the vectors as well. I mean, this feels really hard. I'm not saying it's impossible, but this feels pretty dang hard. So we're gonna have to see what Albino's solution is. He does not have quick draw hustle yet. In fact, he's not even researching it. So these Exos, they do not have a power spike on the way. There's nothing like that. So he's just gonna get a Lancer to try to tank and dive right on top. The splits are really solid. Again, with these vectors, now they're gonna kite away and they burst this down. Lancer bonus damage versus heavy. And look at this. Yes, we did have one of the saber fall down, but I mean, everything just gets evaporated here. And yeah, okay, sure. The Lancer stays alive. One of the sabers does go down, but I'm assuming there's gonna be more where that came from. Second saber getting made. Nina has built okay, I'm an Inferno player. Certainly, I don't play Vanguard, but I mean, these early saber builds have felt very strong, depending on the map, of course. There's some maps they're very good on, some maps they're not. But for now, Nina tries to go and get something done. Flat cannon there, splash damage, minus armor from the blink means that, it's a little hard. So, there is that. Of course, 2 sabers, they almost one-shot. 2 sabers, if they target the same exo, they don't quite one-shot. 10 HP remains, but with the splash damage, that should effectively one-shot. So, actually, you target the same unit, does the damage from one, it doesn't, I don't think it does splash to that first unit. So there is that, you know. But yeah, that's why you have these vectors on top, just to do a little bit more. And there's a 3rd saber. Now everything's getting one-shot. Now all the exos are getting one-shot at 90 damage in a radius. Trethris, thank you so much for the tier 1, the Prime Gaming sub. Prime resub, 3 months. And now, man, 4 sabers, 120 damage. What is that? 240 damage in a burst. And we're starting to hit the, even more than that. Command Post has 1500 HP. 90 times 4 is 360 damage. Again, against heavy, which command posts are heavy. This command post is gonna get nuked down. I mean, just look at this damage right here. But now it's a big concave. Trying to get set up. Quick draw hustle is done, and that's gonna have to be the value here. So moving on forward, and we're gonna see the burst go down. Lancers fall down. That's gonna be the first year. But now blinking on top of the extras of the back line, blink backwards here, and they get all their HP back. This has to be the hold from Albino at this point, but oh man, these sabers are so very exposed. They're still nuking down. They're still doing everything they have to do. All the X's are falling. All of these Lancers are falling, and more vectors are here. Yes, we did see a bunch of the sabers fall, and that does matter. They are expensive. But there's still a Saber here, and there are still these vectors that are sitting forward. All these these vectors that are going to continue to poke away, continue to prod, and continue to just make life difficult. That's the thing. So Nina building more. Third Starforge on the way. She building more Sabers. Not at the moment. Will eventually. What do we have? So we do have kinetic redirect now done as well, which means that if you can soak a little damage on these Lancers before they get started, they dash in, they do more damage. They get a little bit faster. Meanwhile, Nina on 3 collection arrays. She's over prismed this year. 4 is max mining. Adding that 5th prism doesn't do anything. Is the thing you got to worry about. But again, for now, just pressure. And now, granted, this is not like playing against a Terran or something like that. It's not like playing against a Terran that has to spend money to repair. You just put a repair turret on it. That poke is annoying. It doesn't really do much of anything. But now, okay, second Saber. This army from Albino is getting a little bit stronger. Scan gets dropped. So now Nina knows exactly what she's dealing with. Targets down the Lancers at the front. And again, job of these Sabers. One gets targeted down. Second one, Exos are going to get on top of these as well. Nina blinks onto the north side to try to zone them away. But this is exactly what Albino's been looking for. This pressure was terrifying. I'm not sure what she thinks the bug was. The units wouldn't blink. Seems like they blinked to me. I don't know. For now, though, Albino does break out of this position and immediately pulls a bunch of mobs. Quick builds the third base. The contain is done, and here's the problem. All these units on the map like this, all these Starforges on the map, that is scary. Now, there are still a couple Sabers here. There's a Scythe as well, so you do have to be very careful as Albino. Medtechs, though, are going to make this a lot easier. Okay, so apparently there is some sort of bug with blinking things. I don't know. Again, I've been playing Celestials, so Rusty Shack is telling me that there's some blink with like shift, or there's some bug with like shift queuing things. I don't know. Unfortunately, though, for Albino, not able to get on top of these Starforges, shut down the mass Scythe idea. But third base done. 4th and 5th barracks on the way. Well, actually, more than that. We're going up to 8 racks from Albino here. Is more medtechs getting added in. Lancers getting added in. No high command just yet, so no survival protocol. Nothing like that. But we are getting system shock. This was changed in the recent patch. It takes a while. It's a 2-minute upgrade. But it gives system shock at tier 2. It gives you this ability to be extremely fast. Purge all debuffs on your army. For this case, system shock is all about getting fast. I don't think there are debuffs that we're gonna see the Infernal, or not the Infernal, that we're gonna see the Celestial player have access to, really. It does allow you to get out of, the other big value, of course, it allows you to get out of Dark Prophecy very quickly if that's what you want to go for. But I can't think of any big debuffs that arrive. Anyway, now this is where it gets scary. So pushing into the Celestial player like is not easy, but System Shock runs away and you poke, you prod. Attacking into this natural, into Link, well, there we go. We're turning him into blast nodes. Into these blast nodes, probably not the easiest thing. But attacking on the right side, where there is just not a lot here, a lot more exposed, is something that is a good deal more interesting. So I think this collection rate will just fall down. Albino has to be careful. Doesn't want to get engaged on by all these creep, but the third base of Nina is dead. And that heavy pressure we saw from Nina in this game number 3, that looked like it might have killed Albino at one point. Now he's totally fine. He's absolutely rolling here. System shock is done. Medtech mastery done. High command, not on the way just yet. I keep looking for it for survival protocol for, what's it called? The new upgrade. Mitigative guard, -2 damage on every, it doesn't really matter as much in this matchup. There's not as much chip damage in this matchup compared to, say, versus Infernals, certainly. But it's something, you know, -2 damage over 10 Lancers is -20 damage into your army. That's not bad. Oh, don't take that shot. Okay, there we go. By the way, there is a, unless they removed it, there is a tier 3 upgrade that you can get for Creed. That means they can, when they kind of enter that flashing zone, once they get taken down and they, you know, they explode in a little bit, they actually can go and they can move like they used to be in the first iteration of Celestials, not 0.0.0, but before that. Now the big army here. Animants are on the field. Dark Prophecy, I don't know if it's available, but anyway, attack's going to show up right now. Blast Node's so freaking strong, and this is not a fight that you can easily take. I mean, attacking into this position feels very hard, but there's just a lot of bio getting on top of things, kiting away as much as possible. Of course, with System Shock here, with everything else, we see Blast Nodes get taken down. Now Creep move forward, splitting away, and this feels like this feels a little bit difficult for Albino. Attacking into all of this AoE is how you throw the game. So he tries to get on top of the Blast Nodes. We're going to see the Purifies go down, which means the Medtechs don't have the energy that they want. And this Kree on the back line, that's a decent amount of damage. But even still, these Vectors will fall. And now, oh God, these Sabers are a little bit exposed. One runs away, but we're going to have to get more. I don't think there's a Prophecy available. More Animancers are going to fall down. The re-engage. Now a second, there we go. Targeted down, bonus damage to heavy. Means these Sabers get evaporated here. And this setup, Nina, again, heavy pressure in the early game. Looked like he was going to win the game. I saw everyone complaining in Twitch chat about how broken everything is. You need a System Shock this, but there's not enough energy. So the Dark Prophecy does a lot of damage. But still, this is a 2-base Celestial, well, 3-base Celestial player soon. But currently 2-base Celestial player, the rally from Albino, very, very strong. And he's got 4 bases. Now again, I'm still waiting for this high command. Doesn't really seem to matter. And okay, what's this machine lab for? What else is he building? Is this just for Atlases? Oh, the smoke. The sneaky play, the unseen veil, trying to get on top of the army, just not quite there. I have got to say, so let's see, where's our, we got no high command on the way. Sentinels. Okay. Making your units that much faster, locking down these high power units, these well, you know, locking down the Sabers, locking down the Animancers so they just don't get their spells off. Very, very powerful idea. So that is where we see Albino going for. Scan gets dropped. Nina knows where the army is once again. He knows where the army is, but knowing where the army is only half the battle. You got to be able to fight it too. So Prophecies in the, whoa, those are massive, my goodness. And again, I'm surprised we're not seeing these big System Shocks to get away. Albino seems like a half a second slow. A little too slow on that, but she has been able to reestablish her economy. North side here, prisms are getting made. She's got Ethereum Purifier as well. Arc Station done. No Arc Fortress, certainly not. But she doesn't really need it, right? The stuff you get from Arc Fortress are really good if you're an aggressive player. If you want to go and start to have Fate's End and just blow up buildings. If you want to go and add an Eon Gate, which was buffed significantly. We still haven't seen it used, but you want to have some really cool counterattack potential. Eon Gates, or, you know, go for something like that. But as it stands, for what Nina has to do, which is just defend, well, it's going to be fine. So now, System Shocked, a bunch of these Exos moving forward, but again, these Prophecies are really strong, and you have to be so very, very careful. Now, this one Sentinel, I assume this was for, you know, getting some lockdowns. But we don't have hate spot. I was going to say it's just for the speed, but no hate spot dispersal aura is a thing. A bunch of the army on the right side kind of just pathed into her corner. A little bit awkward right there. Nina is taking some solid fights. And there's still no high command. But okay, there are the Atlases. Additional splash damage getting done. Bob's pulled into this position, and they're not going to be able to do anything. This is not an expo that Albino can probably find. Eventually, the Blast Nodes will kill this off. Yes, there's a Sentry Post on the way, but Blast Nodes, Strike Nodes. Yeah, there we go. Nope, this is not going to work. Pretty fun, though. This is not going to pop up. So Nina's getting out of the upper left. Albino has the bottom right, and the fight in the middle is truly what's going to matter. I really keep expecting. I mean, the burst damage was there. I keep expecting. There we go. There we go. Sky Spin retrofit on the way. So we're gonna have haste spot dispersal. Oh, it's done. Never mind. Haste spot dispersal is done. I always forget. Yeah. So that's what is that? That is evacs are 25% faster. Okay. So now that means that we're gonna have these big Atlas drops, as well as the complexity of these armies continues to grow. Now, I don't know, by the way, that this concave, very, very hard to fight into. I don't know that having these evacs matters as much in this game, because the sizes can just target them down. Again, bonus damage to heavy evacs or heavy units. But if you just get like a couple big Atlas shots, just a couple big Atlas shots, it can work out pretty nicely. Nina, by the way, gotten herself up to 4 bases. You know, she's the collection array is not done yet, but she's gotten herself up to 4 bases. She has actually, excuse me, 5 bases here. She has this collection array taken once again. She has all of these strike nodes and blast nodes, so that's not something that Albino can break very easily, but he's just going to sprint north side and say, okay, well, this is not a base you're allowed to find, and, well, there's no speed boost. No Celestial Hyperdrive on the Arc Station. You need that. You need tier 3 to get that one, so Arc Station will have to run. And Nina, I said it's going to be hard for Albino to go to counterattack this, and it technically is, but his entire army's there. Even with, God, these blast nodes, it's so strong. It's doing so much damage. Oh my goodness. But it doesn't. At the end of the day, there's way too much here. That base will fall down. Nina, though, counterattack on the other side. What can she find? I think she's going to take down this base. I think she might be able to take down the bottom right as well and kind of reset both of us to 3 bases, which, you know, theoretically, maybe matters a little bit more. I don't know. I mean, Nina's been mining this 3rd base for not as long, so to last a little bit longer, but, excuse me. But Nina is not, not going to go down. But Nina is not really able to go. Man, these nanoswarms are really nice. Just a little bit extra damage. Nina's not really able to go and get on top of this base. So Albino gets 2, Nina gets 1. Is the story of things. So Albino's going to try to take this north side base now. And remember, because prisms can mine from Luminite mines, Nina's getting like half mining from this northwestern base. There is that, but I mean, fighting into the setup of the Albino's. Oh, he's going to pull the trigger right now. Now, shots go down, Atlases. Well, there's a bubble. Dark Prophecies are so very good. Purify on top of everything as well. Is this enough? Prophecies are on every single thing. If this fight's not a fight that Nina's going to win, I don't know what is. But the Concave is, and yeah, you're an energy regen as well. This is a beautiful fight for Nina, and this just does not work out for Albino whatsoever. Prophecies on everything. Medtech's just in one clump. They're not healing the entire part of that army. Yeah, there are some nanoswarms. There are. But they're getting healed up. That's fine. It's okay. There's an energy regen. Actually, I'm not totally sure how they're healing. Oh, no. Yeah, Sabers have stealth healing. There we go. But the Atlases were way too far forward. One got targeted down immediately. And yeah, you could bubble the second, but didn't get enough damage. And now we're in this position where, I mean, those Atlas shots are really nice. And Albino is dead. He taps out of this game. What a game number 3, but Nina goes up 3-0. That was a sick game. Yeah, Sabers are the best siege unit in the game. I think that is very, very true. Guys with Hedgehogs have been there. No, they would just evaporate into the Sabers. That was a sick game, though. Atlases are very good, but I think against this army, maybe you get a couple more. It's hard, right? Microing more than like 1 evac full of Atlases is pretty difficult. But yeah, Sabers are anti-siege. they annihilate Atlases. They annihilate Hellborn. It's they're very, very strong in that way. Marksman, by the way, thank you so much for the follow. I'm glad you were here. I don't know that I'd call this a tournament, Stormgate Archives. I mean, it's a couple show matches. But we have not had... It's been a 4-0 and a 4-0. And now we're 3-0. So... I mean, Lukash, this is literally the first CVV that I have seen on the new patch. I don't know. I don't know how this works. We're learning. Yeah. I think helicarriers would have been very, very good. All right, so actually, let's see. We're going to run 3 minutes of ads, just so we don't... The time is coming up pretty soon. And then I will be right back. See y'all soon. At the thing. Well, again, you clear speed and health camps very quickly. On top of that, it means you actually have an answer to these Seraphim early on, which is really, really nice. It's, oh, I'm not sure who got that one, but now, yeah, you have to run away with the Seraphim with that speed boost. Tries to snipe. Okay, I said, Weavers, if you want to go for those problems that Nina's running everything to set up. We used to have cats in a rough idea here. So for now, we're going to see the speed camps go down. Sovereign's Watch plus this Morph Court. Oh, yep, got it. Now we're going to see a Creation Chamber right in there. But because, well, the speed camp belongs to the Inferno player. Or it belongs to, she's on top of this. Remember, Vectors are light units. Lancers have bonus damage versus light. But even still, this Vector will look to chase this down. Blink's going to be coming off cooldown reasonably soon. Delta Jump. It's going to come off on cooldown very soon, but now the health food is there, so that's that. They're going to go down. Meanwhile, Lancers in the main base, they may force this collection of Ray to raise on up. But for now, this damage, Nina's getting substantive damage. She is getting reasonable damage here now. Well, maybe gonna blink on the low ground. So again, my question is, what's the follow-up? She does force this collection. Sides are gonna start to arrive, and they do bonus damage to heavy. So even as these Lancers are tanky boys, absolutely, and they're gonna try to knock down some of these power banks. Sovereign's Watch is there, and eventually these Scythes will force everything back. Argent as well again. Everything here does a reasonable amount of damage to these Lancers. Ooh, these okay, Exo's gonna fall. These man, these Vectors, they hit it very far forward, so they're taking 50% more damage on the blink. As long as that purple aura is around them, they just take so much damage. But they do get the Exos down, and these two Lancers will fall more sized on the way. You know, really very good against this, right? Bonus damage versus, not as good as they used to be, but bonus damage versus light Scythes are light units, absolutely. But you need to have them in enough numbers. Yeah, I think we're done. Yeah, this is going to be the plus 20 damage every bit of damage. They take resets to stacks, and they start to chunk in a significant way. Now, this is a little bit dicey trying to get on top. Purify's right there. There's enough energy to make sure that there's constant retaliation matrix, constant. So they don't really heal. Gets on top of all these Hornets as well. And with that plus 20 bonus damage, that's not bonus damage versus heavy. That's just versus everything. And Nina has found her opening. She's found her timing. I feel like an aggressive Nano Swarm might have been useful there, but there's no energy. No energy available whatsoever. Just by Snogstar just a little bit, but there is not enough anti-air anymore. Everything is dead. And this close by air position that Nina is able to take advantage of. Sides, they spawn, they run through the speed zone, run across the map, immediate death, immediate disaster. And Albino in game one is gonna fall down. There we go. Nina, first map on the board. We're gonna see, yeah, just has to give has to give the health camp up for now. They got like, Nina got like half the money from it, and now, well, these Lancers have a decent amount of minus armor. They're at minus 25 armor, minus 50 armor, which means even if they're not light units, these Vectors should be able to kite them out. Hello, friends, we're back. One more game, maybe more. One more game, maybe more, as we get our way into, well, we're gonna have to see. It's Isle of Dread, a map that we haven't seen. Actually, I don't think we've seen that map today. Yes, Albino is the best Vanguard of this tournament. Also the only Vanguard in this tournament. I invited Albino, Snogstar, msrm, and Nina. Here we go. That's just how that one worked. Game number 4, though, is on the way. Nina already suffered a 4-0. Let's see now if she can inflict that on her opponent. We move into Isle of Dread. So now it's Isle of Dread, map number 4. Nina's up 3-0. We've seen a couple games of Vectors into Size that looked very good, and then we saw this Vector into Saber idea that almost broke Albino. He was able to break out, take everything down. And you're like, okay, man, he's got this. He's got the eco lead. He's got everything else. And he's just really struggling, and then things get weird anyways. He's able to go and you know, I think really what it is, part of that, the fight was really bad. So that fight that Albino took, couple issues with it. Issue number 1, all of his med techs were clumped up on one side of his army, which meant they weren't healing the entire army. They weren't, say, system shocking army to get out of prophecies. All of those things were just not really there. You don't have access to that, but which meant when all the med techs died, suddenly a lot of the longevity of this army goes down. No nano swarms either. You know, again, they were just zoned out. They were not mixed in the army. Made life rather difficult. That was problem number 1. Problem number 2, the Atlases were way too far forward, so one died immediately. Nice job there, Nina. Getting the healing fruit so the dog can't go regen and be even more annoying. But died immediately. Second one was bubbled, but died fairly quickly after that one anyways. And then you're kind of fighting. It is a surround, but you're fighting into like 2 different chokes, and there were enough animats that there was way too many dark prophecies. So just all that together, life was kind of complicated. It was really the worst. Given the lead that Albino had, it was probably the worst possible setup that Albino could have gone for. And now he's going for he went for a command post first in this game. Command post into a barrack, so a little bit less map pressure, but certainly a much faster eco game. But Nina, not to be outdone, 3rd collection array on the map, taking this double Therian base in a way that, you know, really only Celestials can. It's very hard for the other 2 factions to get it this early. It's so exposed, but the static defense that you can get as a Celestial player that's very good. It's very, very, very good. I did, by the way, Lukesh saying is a parting a star will parting win versus Infernal. I think parting wins versus anyone for the most part. But I asked him, I said, hey, you want to play in this thing today? And he said, well, I've been on vacation, so I haven't had a chance to go play the new patch yet. Fair enough. I'd rather have some players that have had a chance to, you know, cook it, to just wallow in the filth for a couple days and figure out how exactly they want to play this. And then develop things for us, right? Then just go and like, I read the patch notes, I've seen how some people have played, so we'll get partying in for future events. That is absolutely true. Benefits, by the way, of being on Parting's team is I can go in like, hey, Parting, you're on Aftermath, give me some content, and it works out fairly well. So anyways, you played, so Snoxter says he played a best of 7 versus Parting like 2 weeks ago, and it went 3-4. Wins the rematch. When I can organize it, I don't know. Ooh, look at this though, Nina. Cheeky go Russian Kree here in this game. Where's our Guardian Nexus? There we go. Roll up just about done, and this is the prime chamber. So what do we have? We have 2. Yeah, we got 2. We have 2 creation chambers on the map, so Kree coming out 2 by 2, and this is the build just designed to tilt Albino out of this game. I love this. I hate this. He's going double hedgehog, by the way, which can be fairly strong. You kite away, but the problem you're running into is like, I don't know what she goes with this. Maybe like 7 Kree. Diving into the Luminite line is just, yep, there we go. Not even into the natural, just straight into the main base. Oh, you cheeky. Nina, as a fan of video of this stuff, I love it. As, you know, someone who feels bad for Albino right now, who's on my team, I really hate it, but, oh, so cheeky. Now, granted, hedgehogs are very good against this because they can kind of kite away, but the goal here is to force them into a corner, is to make it so the hedgehogs have nowhere to run and they just die. And that's exactly what's happened right now. Nowhere for them to run here. Yes, there's promotions, but Albino is dead. Oh, Nina. Oh, you had to do it to him like that. That's going to be a 4-0. Of course, if you like this and you want more stuff like this, we're going to be running 2 or 3 best of 7s every Sunday, depending on how the funding can work out. So make sure to go sub to me, or go to follow me on Twitch, sub to me on YouTube. Go join my Discord. Let me know what matchups you want, as we're going to have these Stormgate Showdown, or these Stormgate Sundays. These Fight Club type things, these money matches going every Sunday. Let me know who you want, and I'll see you there. Hey, Albino. Did him dirty on that one. She snuck that creation chamber in from another side. But game 3 was actually really fantastic. Game 3 was quite a banger. So I'm pretty happy with how things went. You know, we had, outside of the breaker swapping, we think actually like there's nothing else on this circuit. The theory is it's just like the breaker is probably bad and we can just replace it. Is gonna have to be how that goes. But for now, I am done here. Thanks so much for joining me. If you go, we'll leave the match arena open for like a day. If you want to go and contribute to the prize pool and give these players a little bit more money for entertaining us for the last couple hours, I'd appreciate it. That'd be very, very nice of you. I'm gonna get that replay from Nina and Snockstar. So what we missed in game number 1, will be that'll go up on the YouTube channel. That'll go up on my YouTube in case you missed it. And for now, friends, thank you so much for joining me here in this series or in this setup. I will find someone to raid on up. Again, follow me here on Twitch. Go sub to the YouTube channel, and I will be up at 6 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. Eastern for Wardy's StarCraft event, his Korean StarCraft event tomorrow morning. And I will be streaming throughout the week. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the week just yet, but I'll be up for Wardy's on Monday, and we'll be doing this again on Sunday. I know there was a request for Vortex versus Lucifron, I think. We'll see if we can organize that one. I don't know, but we're gonna find someone to raid up. Thank you so much, everyone. And we at the thing. Well, again, you clear speed and health camps very quickly. On top of that, it means you actually have an answer to these Seraphim early on, which is really, really nice. It's oh, I'm not sure who got that one, but now, yeah, you do have to run away with the Seraphim with that speed boost. But now getting on top of the Hexen, even still, it looks like, okay, Nina gets this, tries to snipe. There we go. Gets one of the vision creeps. Is gonna maybe get a second. Oh, God. Oh, he wasn't expecting that one. Oh, man. That's a lot of damage right there. All the white health goes down. Lots of damage in general. Second shot, Snockstar. Where? Pay attention here, bud. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. This is now we're seeing the dodge, but the damage has been done. Absolutely, the damage has been done to the Gon. So every single Gon in this setup is just going to get taken down by all of these Seraphim, and no damage to the rocket launcher whatsoever. Okay, I said, sabers. Sabers are pretty good. It's just, no sabers. It's just going to be scythes. Scythes, if you get them to critical mass, are very, very strong. They're hard to deal with. They can do up to plus 20 damage, 20 bonus damage. So this Seraphim has to just run. Will not run. Will not hide. Will not collect 200 Weavers if you want to go for those eventually. Weavers can be very, very good against a lot of ideas coming out of the Celestial player. Obviously not this game because it's Scythe Seraphim. That is not something that, I mean, Weavers just don't do anything. They don't shoot up. But problems that Nina's running into right now. And there's no way. I mean, yes, this is trying to turn into a blast node, but before the blast node's done, it doesn't have armor. It just doesn't survive. And there we go. Nina is hella dead in this game. Snockstar with the all-in timing gets everything he needs and more, and that's a game 2 victory for our Infernal player. Everything dies. And I think here, no, there's not enough energy. There's not enough for just a bunch of, sudden health spawn resurgence to get a bunch of units out of these. Now, these 3 Hellborn, they represent a problem. They can target down these units that Nina has. They set up once again, pushing effigies forward. We have a Harbinger. Oh, he's gonna stun. It's gonna be for a stun. I want to say Seismic Slam. No, it's just for Shroud. Okay, it's just for Shroud. Doesn't seem to matter though. And Nina is gonna fall down as the dragon arrives. Snockstar, quick 3-0 up in this series. Used to have on the circuit, and certainly less aggregate wattage on the circuit. So I don't know why that's happening. We actually removed power. I had this happen twice yesterday, and we actually removed power. We removed some of the power from the circuits. I really don't know what's up. As this Shroud Stone goes up and it goes down. Can't explain that one. So that counts Castanet. This is for my growth, even as that fun as that would be. But now we're gonna see a lot of Gons just get exploded here. This build that Nina has gone for is a great solution to this idea of a, well, actually right now, Shroud Stone Manifest makes life a little bit more difficult. And explosions! Oh, you stat on that one. Rough idea here. So for now, we're going to see the speed camps go down. Sovereign's Watch plus this Morph Court. Oh, yep, got it. Now we're going to see a Creation Chamber right in there. But because, well, the speed camp belongs to the Infernal player. Or it belongs to, excuse me, top of this